And we are back in this thing, but we're not just back in this thing in the same way. We are back in this thing, and we are now in Sopranos season 6B. Listen, y'all seen the post on Instagram. Y'all seen the post, the Vince McMahon tear up music. Y'all know what that means. It's like, man, it's less than 10 episodes, man. But before we get all somber and all of those things, there'll be time for that, whatever happened there. But in the meantime, welcome to Good Earners, reviewing the Sopranos.
There?
Whatever happened there?
Yeah. Anyway, so hey, good be like Tony.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
You know how it is. You try to keep family chill with everybody drinking and stuff. You be like, hey, all right, yeah. So
I know.
Yeah.
That's when the whole room. Oh,
like all right, y'all. But welcome to Good Earners.
Fuck you, Santa. Oh.
But welcome to Good Earners, reviewing the Sopranos. And here on Good Earners, we like to talk about family, finessing, finances, and feelings in the world of Tony Soprano, bringing you a new perspective, a fly perspective, and a black perspective. One thing I enjoy about this show is the travels we get to have, just through the journey of the show, and even traveling over to the boardwalk. Who doesn't want to travel to the boardwalk? But I don't travel alone. I'll travel it here with my guy, Big Rich Town and Spike Lou. How do y'all fellas do it?
What do you know? What do you say?
Hey, doing well, man. In honor of the final season, the final 9 episodes, I told the boss of the family that I wear a jacket for these last 9. So here we are. If you watch
the jacket,
it's the jacket. So yeah, we're gonna go out in style, man. I'm looking forward to it. Shout out to
I'll join y'all. I'll join y'all eventually.
Yeah,
on the finale.
On the Made in America. He's gonna come suited and booted for it.
Maybe Blue Comment, man. I know what Spike thinks about Blue Comment.
Maybe that's the second to last, right?
Yeah, it's penultimate.
Give us 2 of them things, man.
Yeah.
All right,
pause.
But yeah. I guess. Yeah, pause, I guess. Well, man, I appreciate you, Rich, for showing up to the occasion, as well as Spike Lou. And surprisingly enough, fellas, that gives us more time in the episode. We don't have any emails from the supporters of ours.
Oh, wow.
Yep. No emails, no DMs. So everybody kind of getting back acclimated in the new year. And I know that I'm sure people catch up and they'll start reaching back out. Whoever didn't get it in before on the emails, this is your time. Obviously, like we talked about, we are winding this thing up as far as the show goes. So
makes it feel like a big nothing, right? All a big nothing.
It's all a big nothing. It's all a big nothing.
Y'all stop making us feel like it's a big nothing. Send us the emails and DMs. Comments, man.
Right, they told us what's so special about you.
What's so special about you?
Oh man, so that gives us more time to really get into this episode. And I'm super excited about this. One of the things we talked about on Back of the Beam, me and Rich, one of the episodes we're excited about, and there's so much to. I told you, I feel like there's not another episode like this prior. I think I said like Marco Polo, and
That's interesting. I have a comparison for it when we get there, but I think it's another episode like it now that I've watched it this time.
You feel like it'll fit better later, or like?
No. It's perfect in the timing sequence of it,
Okay.
But it reminded me of another episode once I watched it this time around, and I had our girl in our head about the teacher, trying to analyze it more deep, and that's what made me think it was like this episode.
Okay. Looking forward to hearing
Mrs.
about
Glenette, if I'm correct.
Shout out Miss Glenette, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, without further ado, Spike Lou, what episode we reviewing today?
Fellas, we are here. Season 6, episode 13, Soprano Home Movies. Not a lot as far as description because we were in one place the whole time. But Tony got arrested. Phil got out of the hospital. Tony and Carm, of course, need to get away after Tony gets locked up. So they go to visit Bobby and Janice at the lake. Tony celebrates a birthday, and then a Monopoly game goes awry. And Bobby gets to pop his cherry. This is season 6, episode 13, Soprano Home Movies.
I'm gonna miss those.
What?
The Spike.
We have to make a cut of. We have to make a cut of those.
I know.
Yeah,
like
we have to
each episode and put it on YouTube.
Eventually, that's when we got the time off. I'm gonna try to make some best of.
If I can help you with it, I'll do it because I think a good idea would be to put each one of these for somebody that's browsing through. They can watch each one of these for each episode.
Yeah,
I don't
Spike
remember
Lee
movies. I don't know if
synopsis,
we got
man.
one for each episode, but I'll go back and do it.
You
I
started
can only think
pretty
of
early.
one.
Yeah.
There's only one where I really wanted, because I remember we specifically said this is the
Yeah, I
episode we
forgot
would
it.
have
Yep.
wanted it, and I can't remember.
I got to
But
go back and do one for that one.
Yeah, that you know that because there's a lot of like best ofs I would like to do. Like when I used to do the fake ads, like I definitely like compile some of those or the funny intros or
Yeah, facts.
just all those all those different little signatures that we created over the time span of this pod. Like eventually.
I'm about to go back and do some Dolo joints, man. I'm about to listen to the episodes I wasn't a part of and give my commentary, who I agree with, and all that stuff.
See,
that's great for YouTube.
Keep the feed alive, man. You know,
all that'd be great for YouTube and the feed. You're right.
Yeah, man. You can. Hey, listen. You that's like a recap on the on the review. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If I was a part of this, hey, come on. Like, these guys are brilliant. This is why these guys in this thing of ours, this podcast of ours.
Hey, we do it for y'all.
Yeah, man. All right, well, let's get into it. So we open up, and it's a flashback to Tony and Johnny Sack, I believe at the end of season 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we see Tony run, but we see him dropping the gun, and the kid had picked it up. And then we see as Tony's running, Tony he falls. And I think this is, again, like, of course, David Chase intentional. I think this is like a thing where, no matter how far Tony's trying to run this thing or where he's trying to take it, he'll always fall. And then obviously it always brought laughter to Livia. That's the thing I always think about when he was a kid, when he fell on the stairs in the early season and he falls there. I always think about Livia's laugh, like they laughing at you, kid.
Hey, that Livia laugh.
That was like
that might have been season 2, but she did the head over the mouth. Man.
Yeah, the head over the mouth is crazy.
Tony was so sorry. Bro.
Yeah, the gun fell out and everything. Well, there it is. The gun fell out. You know what I mean? So it's kind of
yeah.
But what did y'all gather from this flashback? And did it feel weird kind of doing this?
I think it was a perfect way to set up. If we remember, there was a hiatus, I think 10 months from actual airtime of Kaisha to Soprano home video. So we knew, and the public knew, that this was the last season. This was their exit, their swan song, the whole 9. So I think it's a good way to kind of recap what you two have been talking about since you started Good Earners, the end at the end. Mm-hmm. Like, let's go ahead and take it back to something. Let's have a flashback. That seems the only appropriate way to kind of start the end of this, and kind of get the idea, because the whole thing is building up that, especially if you know what happens in The Sopranos, and not to get into spoilers, but you kind of know how the story ends. Tony even alludes to it when he's talking to Bobby on the boat. Like, there's only a couple ways for this to even end. And we see that the inner workings, all the stuff that we've been looking at as viewers for the past 6 seasons, now we get to see the Fed side of it. This is what we've been doing for these 6 seasons, bro. Either way, you going down, and they're kind of letting us know, like, there's no happy ending to this story. And we want to get y'all prepared. Like, this ain't fantasy. This is what's really going down. So obviously we go back to 04 just to let us know what's going on in 07 and what they're trying to squeeze Tony on with all that time. So it was fitting. And it's always cool, just like the ride. It's always cool when you see a scene that was actually in an episode and kind of see the prolongment of it and see what actually happened. I thought that was actually fascinating as well.
Agreed. I think that was very well put. Not a lot more to add to it. In the sense of what I got from the scene, but what Rich said, I 1,000,000% agree with.
Yeah. Do y'all think it was shot and held back just like long-term parking? Or, I mean, the ride, I guess, from long-term parking?
I was looking for information on that, and I couldn't find it. I don't know. It feels like they were shot separately. You know what I mean?
I think this was shot separately too. And I believe this idea probably came to them later. What if this happened when we did this with Johnny Sack?
Yeah.
Well,
add another wrinkle.
I think it was shot at the time. I think they did the same kind of thing because, well, the next episodes when we get to stage 5, you know what I mean? There's some the ultimate changes in appearance, and so it makes me. What was you gonna say?
I was just about to say, certainly wouldn't surprise me if it was planned out. Like, it wouldn't be a shock. Yeah. Like, they're very, particular and intentional about stuff like that. I just think that they actually filmed that scene of him running. Like, obviously the Johnny Sack one, that's old footage. But I think the new scene and the kid in the window, I think all of that was new.
But that's what I'm saying. How do they set up the snow and everything? I mean,
cut the check, baby. With Sopranos, we change television. Cut whatever we need, we get.
You're right. Come through with that. I need that.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. That can make it happen. They definitely can make it happen. And David Chase is.
You know what it's like to be. You know what it's like to be 2006 and David Chase is on the line. What? Come on, man.
You're right.
Whatever I need.
We in magazines. We got video games out, bro. We got merch. We got website. We got all that. We locked. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, man. Keep it down. My Emmys are making too much noise in the background. I'll tell them to be quiet. Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
Fair enough. And then now I did have a question. So we get into the next scene. The papers dropped off as usual, saying 2007 budget approved. Definitely giving us season opener vibes, which I did like. Did they do that at the beginning of season 6?
That was the only one they didn't have.
How they did.
Oh, okay. I thought we did. Okay. So thank you, David Chase, and all of the people involved giving us this. Thank you. Like, this is not fanfare, obviously. This is just one of those things, but thank you for giving us this. Even though you could tell even then it's the end of the end, like, he's not even going out to get the paper. Like, versus you literally get the image of season 1, him skinnier, going out and get it. So everything about this episode. Well, yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say it's brilliant that he didn't have a chance to get the paper. Because as soon as that clock hit 6 a.m. and true. I love Carmelo's line, is this it? Like, you live a life waiting for that.
Yep.
You waiting for that day to happen. It's not if, it's when.
That would have irritated me so bad.
Is this it?
Is this it? Bitch.
Now that ain't, you know what? That's good. To be honest, I'm not mad at this as much. Just because, that season 1 when they were moving everything and she was involved and trying to understand it, was like, give me a ring. It's like, no, I'm not giving it my ring. You did pay for this. You playing it off and like getting to this moment where it's like, this day is coming, and it's like I gotta be prepared for this. Like, as much as it's whatever, it's like at some point I gotta be prepared for this, and I'm not mad because this is probably not the only time she's ever woke up and said, "Is this it?" You know what I mean? And there's been some false alarms. So I'm really not mad at it. This just shows you like a day in the life and like the end at the end thing where it's like, hey, we're coming in at the end where it's like eventually it's going to go this way, which like we'll eventually get to the Bobby and Tony boat conversation. But I wasn't bothered by it. It's a haunting line though, to be honest.
Facts. You're absolutely right. You are right when you say that. It just would have irritated the shit out of me. Like, wow. Personally, it just, what kind of question is it? How would I know shit? Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? What we talking
that's
about?
Good. That's
and it would have made me made me feel like you was thinking negative. Like that, but again, that's the lifestyle that they live, like you said. That's the point. Mm-hmm. So it was a really good line. It was really well written, just from a personal standpoint. If I were Tony, I'd have been like, oh.
They probably Carmelo's probably thinking, even if it's not the feds, there's no way that 6 in the morning, whoever it is at the door, they don't have good news, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know what I would say?
She's like, is that Furio? No.
Me being a dick, I was just gonna say, Mo, I would have said maybe it's Adriana.
Now that's a Tony line. In an alternate universe, that's a Tony line. It could be 8.
They missed an opportunity with that.
That would have been a good little subtle jab. And here's what makes the line work a little bit more. There's a later scene where she talks about like a piano hanging over your head. Like, there's this real emotional scene later in this finale season that makes this line, to me, correlate perfectly. Where everybody starts to get to that breaking point, and that's why I like this line. It was like a precursor to it. So, but then the feds start knocking on Tony's door, and they arrest him for a gun charge from, ironically enough, North Caldwell in Essex County. The jacket.
Hey, Spike talk about being irritated. If I look out my window, I see all them cops in my backyard. I open up the door. You bring the whole county with you. Come on, what are we doing? It's 6 in the morning, bro. I got my family here. I'd have probably been on some, I must be that nigga. If y'all brought all these people, I must be somebody. Because y'all got me fucked up. Y'all know this is excessive.
But they know he's the boss, though. Like, they know, like, he's been on the news numerous times. Your sister getting, knocking a mom out at a soccer game, and they making jokes about the class of 04.
I know this is how it goes, but it's still just one of them. Like, come on, y'all, really? Like, y'all brought the whole force down here to my crib. And then like y'all came to the Bing or something like that where y'all would expect, like, this the crib. Like, come on, y'all can take me out here. But I know they're never gonna do that. They want to do the perk walk and everything else.
Yeah, that's what it is. They were proud. They wanted to get in like, oh, hey, can I tag along too? Like, yo, I want to be in
story
that
to tell.
I want to be in that newspaper.
He drank off that story for the next year, probably. Yeah, you know, I arrested
Tony Soprano. Exactly. Hey,
Yeah.
you know what's amazing? What a great part of being in this world is, to what you said, Rich. We don't realize how famous Tony is.
Yeah.
Like, well, actually, we realize it in different places, as pointed out, but we're so close to him as viewers of the show. It's almost like his family. His family really don't realize he's famous and everybody knows what he does. But then every time you get this outside interaction of people like fascinated by him and things of that nature, I think that's a really, because they don't make him famous. Like, it's just, to us, it's just Tony Soprano. And that's a brilliant way to write this.
Yep.
I love how they did it like that too, because that's how it is. If you know anybody, even if it's not like A-list famous, but if you know somebody who's known and you're friends with them, you don't look at them as the way of that's your people. You know, I've been with friends, athletes, and stuff like that, and it's just like you forget sometimes like the reaction they get from other people. And it's weird. It's like, what? That's just such and such. Like, I don't even get it.
Exactly.
Like, I can't even. My brain can't even look at that person that way.
Facts.
So that's a great point, Spike.
Yeah, and it would have took away from other areas of focus with the show if they put a lot of emphasis on. I mean, we get those little tidbits, like I said, Janice and the soccer mom situation, and class of 04, and all of these different moments with Tony kind of popping up on the news and television.
Elliot asking about him all the time.
Elliot asking about Patient Zero. It's I mean, it even becomes a conversation at a later dinner table talk. So it's like he is definitely the talk of the town. But again, for us, they chose to focus in on like the internal of who we think Tony is, or what they're presenting to us, or what he's presenting to us. So yeah, it's really, really good. And this, I mean, literally, bro, we 5 minutes in, we getting to it. Like I said, oh yeah, they ain't come to play. Like David Chase and them, we ain't come to play. That's it.
Hey man, hey Carmelo, man, what the fuck you got going on? That's his family doctor.
That was
like,
so
what you think that's about to do? Stop it. I would have been more upset about that, man.
Tell him he's got a heart. Get your ass in the house.
Yeah,
man.
Get in the house, man.
Go start getting the lawyer on the phone, please, and thank you.
This man ain't about to cape for us to the feds. He's a civilian.
Bro, it's one of those things. The thing about Carmela that always is like a thing is like she knows how to read people, but she never knows how to finesse people. That's the thing that always gets me. I'm like, she's never good at like trying to like get a lie off. Like, oh, me and my husband are getting back together. Like all of these, like you're not good at like finessing anything with anybody. Like maybe except for like what we talked about, the possibility of her finessing Tony into like, oh, I'm investigating Adriana. But outside of that, it's like that's what always gets me. It's like, oh, it's like, no, you could have presented it a different way in any time, but she just never seems to get that part. So I don't know. That always gets me. Because that later scene with her and Janice, how she quickly could read. All right, bro. Like, what we doing? Like, get to the point. I know what you're trying to say, so just say it. And like she tells Tony, like, these are not your friends. You're the boss. Like, I know you, Tony. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I still love Carmela, great character, but I'm getting my gripes off all the way to the finish line here. But yeah, Meadow is here. It's good to see Meadow as always.
What's she doing there? She was in California with Finn.
Well, this is new season.
That's true.
Ain't no Finn no more.
That's true.
Finn is finished.
She
ended up. Never mind. I ain't about to say. Y'all remember who she ended up with, right?
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
What about it?
I'm just curious. Yeah, now just.
You don't think it was cinematic?
It wasn't cinematic, and just sharpening that whole metal mid conversation.
Yeah. Well, see, the mid works when you got the Gumars. Like it's all built in that infrastructure. I feel like Like, you know
I'm
what
not
I
even
mean?
about to say.
I
I'm
ain't
not
gonna
about to
go
say what I
crazy.
want to say.
I'm keeping it light, but I'm just saying in that sense, it works in that infrastructure. It's like, okay, you don't have to be excellent because you know what I do and I know what I
But he
provide,
ain't.
you know, in that world or whatever.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
These
I
are
ain't gonna say
theories
what I
that
was
we
gonna
made
say.
up that only you get here at Good Earnest. Like, this is us. Like, this is definitely not how they wrote it, but this is our old remix. So anyway, they following them, and
Metal's
Janice.
a 40-degree day.
Oh my gosh.
She's the definition of a 40-degree.
Facts.
40-degree day. Dang.
Nobody remember 40-degree day.
If you're a Wire fan, you know exactly what we're talking about.
That's good. That's really good.
Oh man.
But Janice calls trying to like get them out there to where they at, like they're a little away from Canada. Where is the spot? I wasn't clear on it, but it seemed like they were close to Canada, if I'm correct.
Yeah, they must be upstate New York. So, Buffalo and all that stuff, like upstate,
Right back
Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, all of that is not far from the border.
Okay.
Buffalo being one of the closest. So I'm assuming this is somewhere up there. I mean, it makes sense. This isn't the first time we've heard of family members. I think Uncle, what was his name? Uncle that had the bodies up there. I can't think
that's
of his
what
name.
that was?
No, but it was upstate New York. Yeah, it was upstate New York. This is upstate New York. So it sounded like it's been in the Bobby's family for a while.
Yeah.
The Terminator and all that whole stuff. So
definitely seemed like Bacala seniors, had this locked in or something. Like, it definitely felt like,
what a feeling to get land and property and just passed on to you, man.
And for generations.
For generations.
Man,
listen,
sounds amazing.
America don't play fair, but whatever.
I like what you did there. Oh man!
Yeah,
Instead,
we sit back and
you get
cash
these
our welfare checks and get high shrooms.
Yeah, smoking mushrooms, man. You know what I'm saying?
There's a really cool. I just looked it up when we was talking. There's a really cool website that you can go to, and scene by scene to give you the location on a map.
Oh yeah, I use that site all the time.
Really? So this one is showing. Go all the way out. Where this is at? Yeah, upstate New York. They don't give you the specific whatchamacallit, but this is pretty cool. It's upstate Jersey. Somewhere in Jersey, but you can go, it looks like you can get to the Canadian border going east from this place right here. I'll send you the picture.
It makes a little more sense about the Harpo thing. You remember that song, that famous song, Harpo? Anyway,
do we remember?
I wonder what's French Canadian for. I grew up without a mother.
Hey, Tony ain't shit, bro. We get it's a great Tony episode.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Anyway, so Janice is calling, trying to see what's up, trying to get them out that way, and timing is off, obviously, but she's doing what she's doing, and I'm not mad at it. I'll speak a little bit more. I won't spend more time here. I'll probably spend more time when we get to the the actual location, because I feel like that's where all the gold is in this. But AJ's in the back, dozing off.
Being AJ. It happened this week. I finally met someone whose favorite character was AJ.
Don't tell me it's Mike. It's Mike, ain't it?
Yep, you knew it. He said that's his favorite character in the show. The look of disgust almost.
Oh boy, listen.
It tracks though. It tracks.
Come on, bro.
So much you want to say right now.
There's a lot I can say right now. I'm not gonna say. Shout out to Mike, man. Mike Seatown. Shout out to him. Oh man, but AJ's like just dozing off. It looks like he got his pizza t-shirt on. He's supposed to get his mom brown pants and got her the white pants, and he said it was dark in there because I don't know if the light bulb didn't work.
There were stains on the pants. That's what it was.
Well, yeah, but he wasn't supposed to get them pants. She told him to get the other pants. He said because it's dark in there. How do you confuse white pants for brown? Anyway. All right, so he's
it's expected. It's expected.
Yeah, it's expected. You're right. I don't know why I keep having.
I blame Carmela at this point for even relying on him to do anything important.
Yeah, real. Every time. I mean, he was in the hospital, supposed to get her coffee. Anyway, yeah, he's just a dude. He's dumb. Like that's it. There's nothing to it. He's falling asleep. His dad, literally going to jail, and he's back there asleep. So We must have played it 100
Hey,
times.
AJ back to like, man, this nigga ain't. He probably seen this shit happen a handful of times. And just like, man, this nigga ain't staying in
They ain't
jail.
going to jail. Right?
I'll see him later.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is no big deal to him.
Yeah. Fair. What I mean, literally, his dad got him out of jail. Like, you tried to kill your uncle, he got you out of jail. Like, just like that. So I know he gonna get himself out. But yeah, Tony gets locked up, and we see him in a prison cell for a moment. And I think the thought, yeah, oh my god. So in the background, I got a black dude. yeah, it's relatable.
David
content.
Chase, true David Chase fashion.
It
turn this shit into Oz.
Oh man, listen. Why do y'all always do this? Why? There's so many ethnicities. So many. And y'all keep
Tony
doing
was probably
that.
disgusted. Tony looked around that room, was probably disgusted.
Yeah, the AJ look. Listen, I didn't say that before when Phil and them was watching the bodybuilders and it had the black dudes. I'm like, anybody else?
Hey, turn that off.
Turn that off.
Man,
Yeah, turn it. That's how I feel at these scenes. Like, turn it off, bro. Why do you keep doing this like this, bro?
Oh.
But whatever. I guess this is Essex County. This is where you see that. So anyway, Tony's there gathering his thoughts. I think these him sitting in there in this moment was kind of like a little bit of a precursor to the conversation we'll get to with him and Bobby, where it's like, okay, because have we seen Tony get arrested?
Yeah, it happened. It happened earlier in the season.
Season 2,
but it was expected. Season 1, season 2, somewhere around there. Harris, I think, came to the door. Because remember, they came to the house and they had the other Italian
dude broke something
in the kitchen. Yeah, broke
Grosso,
something, stuff
maybe.
like that. They were searching through it, but I do remember them taking him out as well. I can't remember exactly what happened, but he was arrested before.
Yeah, because I remember they playing the tapes for him, but I don't know if he was in a cell. But I guess and they were close.
He's never been in a cell. This is the first time he's been in a cell.
Okay, that's why I feel like, okay, because I was like, bro, I need a little more stake in the game to understand how we get to the conversation he's having later. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, again, he was having this conversation with Chris talking about how you're going to bring us into the 21st century. We're already in the 21st century, T. So that that conversation already was had. So it's like, this kind of really like, okay, let's get the ball rolling for real. But yeah, go ahead.
I think it's gonna have a lot. I mean, we'll talk about it as the episode goes along. I think the circumstances have changed, not only with Tony and Chris, but also with what's going on with Tony. Like, it's almost inevitable at this point of what's going on, and it can't be stopped. All you can do is hope to beat the feds. Like, but the feds are coming. Like, this is happening. Like, this isn't going away. All of it. So you know what's coming. So that changes things as well. Is anybody is Chris even capable of handling that? Like I said, we can talk about it more as the episode goes along, but interesting stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, just seeing him in the court too, just like the look he had, you kind of get the whole little layout and everything. It's just like, it's just one of those things, like, when you see, like, I know y'all be big Wire fans, just when people have to go through this, it's like, yo, this is really a part of the game. And like, sometimes people really don't understand what they sign up for. That's why I'm always amazed in these shows when, like, okay, it's good, it's lit, we getting that bag, we getting envelopes, but when it get to this spot, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just
speaking of the Wire, it reminds me of season 5 when they ended up getting Marlowe's crew, not even naming O-Dog. O-Dog got shot. He was supposed to take some time for him, but everybody got arrested. He was like, I still got to do them years. Shit, all y'all getting arrested anyway. Y'all can take this charge back. I shouldn't have to do that. It just remind me of that when you talk about what people don't know what they sign up for. Like, bro, this is, you're gonna have to go and you're gonna have to go away for a minute if asked. Like, whatever the case is, your whole life is different. It ain't for everybody.
It's like Franklin too. When Franklin first got to moving around, when he got robbed going out there, and when he went to jail.
Yeah,
like, yeah, nigga, that's a part of it.
That's the trickiest thing of it, because it's like you're looking for the honorable thing, but you're looking like none of these guys are guys of honor for real. That's always the thing about it, like no honor amongst thieves kind of thing, where there's a code and there's an understanding. It's like, if you don't, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get your family, I'm gonna, all that. But
we still trying to figure out what happened to Hove's 92 bricks. It's just part of the game, man. It's just how it works.
That's crazy. Anybody what's the number? Take an L. Anybody ever get the number on that?
He told the story. It's funny. It's funny because he told the story on a Rap Radar, but they edited it out. Like he told the story and they took it out. They say, but because they was like I think it wasn't B-Dot, it was Elliot. Shout out to your boy Elliot, Spike. Elliot edited it out, and because I guess the story would have been too much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Either way, that has nothing to do with nothing. We keep going with Sopranos.
Okay, sorry. One more sidebar. Sorry. Which one are you more interested to hear? That story or the Angie Martinez Tupac interview that she's always said she had that never came out?
The 92 Brick story.
Tracks.
I gotta understand how that. No, how does that even?
Okay.
And you got it back in a
back.
Yeah, like I need to hear that's hustling 101. Every hustler needs to hear that story.
Okay. That's you too.
What? Oh, facts.
Okay.
I would definitely want to see the Angie Martinez interview. But yeah, I have to know the process of how that worked. 100%.
And mainly because I think the personalities too. Like Pac is Pac. I can envision what that looks like with Pac. When it comes to like, we don't know too much about Jay and that life and all the other what he gave us some music. So that's just always interesting to hear.
Yeah, well, y'all send me the song about the story then.
Yeah, never change. I got you.
All right. Phil is out of the hospital. He's busting balls with the crew, but he's not the same Phil, it appears. What did y'all gather from this scene? There was a lot of little subtleties in this scene with Phil. What did y'all pick up?
For me, it was just our first time seeing him as a direct tie-in to the last song. Tony telling him, listen, we're not going to be on our deathbeds talking about, I wish I had more no-show jobs. Enjoy your grandchildren, enjoy your health. And that's the same mentality Phil has right now. I'm back, yeah, but I'm chilling. I'm just here to relax. I'm here to enjoy my grandchildren. Like, I just beat death. You know what I mean? That's a big thing. 66 years old, I just beat death. Like, I know it's there. I know it's knocking. Like, I got more time behind me than I do ahead of me. Let me just coast in life. But also, I see who's been running things. I see the crew misses me. And I know I can't live with myself, even if I only do have however many more years, right? I can't live those years knowing that I got some pooput in charge. Or somebody who's not deserving, or somebody who doesn't live the same type of life that I lived in the way that I'll live it. Like, I'd rather die today than let somebody I know who incapable run this. So it's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But you see he trying his best to kind of be cool.
Yeah.
But you ain't never cool.
Yeah, you could tell something had changed in him. And this really sets up well for the feel that we're about to get for the rest of season 6B. I think that, again, they did a really wonderful job. Without this scene and without easing us into it this way, it may have been hard to believe the Phil trajectory that we went on this season. So this was a perfect intro to that character, reintroduction to that character and his mindset.
Yeah, it's crazy because him and Tony kind of want the same things, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're thinking beyond this thing of theirs. And it's funny how it ends up not going that way. And it's like in this thing, in this family dynamic, none of y'all could change because of the people around you. Like, Vito could possibly still be alive and be good earning, if Phil wasn't, where he was. Like, Tony was still willing. I mean, it would disrupt it so much, but Tony still was kind of maybe, but again, it's that tug of war with who you're around.
I know we mentioned Heat before, but I don't know how to do nothing else. That's just it. I don't know how to do nothing else. Like, this is, no matter who I want to be in my head, no matter who I think I should be, this is who I am in my core. And it's always going to find its way to the forefront.
Yeah, we meet Coco in this scene too. Y'all stick
some on your lip.
So, oh man, stick a pin in that boy.
This little cream.
Oh man.
We also see I always mess up his name. Uncle Junior, his real life son is in this scene as well.
Which one's his real life son?
If you go to, he said something. You can tell when you look at him. Let me go to the timestamp of it. It's after it's not Fat Don, but what's his name? Doc. It's after Doc comes and talks to him. And so if you go to 7 minutes and 36 seconds, bald dude. That's Dominic Cheney. He's actually in for anybody who's seen All About the Benjamins with Ice Cube and Mike Epps.
Yeah.
He played in that movie too. But that's Uncle Junior's real life son.
Actually, I'm looking at it, I can see the resemblance too.
Yeah, he looked like him.
Yeah, that's crazy. He even kind of got like the shoulders, like kind of like that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Now what did y'all Phil said he's cranky a lot these days, and of course you see the hesitancy, but why do y'all think he looked at Johnny's photo like that? Because there's so many ways to go with that.
I think it was just a reminder that he's still around. I think there was a subtle hint from the show as to like, this is still going to be something that comes back up. Phil is not the boss of this family, and it's something that's going to be resolved. Because like you say, we had been away for 10 months. He hadn't been a lot in season 6 the last time. So we come back. This is just like, yeah, there's a resolution here. Just wait for
it. I think it feeds into what I was saying earlier. Just how I'm going to leave somebody else in charge of this. I know I'm here to settle my grandchildren. I just had major heart procedure. I'm talking that talk like I'm trying to retire, but then I see everybody else who's around us take the throne. I can't let y'all do that. Like I'm looking at Johnny Sack, who everybody thought was noble, admirable, and you cry like a baby when it mattered. And that's just not what we come from. That's not the cloth we cut from. And I just think it was one of those things like, damn, even the people we moralize, even the people we put up here on the pedestal, they gonna find a way to fail you. Like I'm the only thorough motherfucker in this. I think that's part of what Phil thinks. I think that's part of his mentality. I'm the only one that really still follows these rules.
Yeah.
You know what I thought? See, that's why the show's so good. Some 3 different interpretations. I thought that he looked at Johnny Sack and he would never say it out loud, but maybe he's looking at like, I kind of understand why he cried now.
I like that.
Because he talking about grandkids, and I was at Johnny Sack's daughter's wedding. I think I understand a little bit more why he cried now. I think I understand a little bit more of what he was feeling. I could never tell none of them because I'm cut from the old school. But to me, I love it. That's the way I thought. I said it's a subtle, like I'm cranky, and it's like, damn, like I wish I could probably low key talk to him about it, but I got to stand on this now. Like you know.
Well, here's the one thing I will say, because there's going to be somebody out there listening that pushes back, and they're going to push back by saying more than anything, more than the tears, which you're 100% right on. He still acknowledged the fact that it exists, and that's where the real disappointment and shame come from. Like, you can't come back from that. As a man, maybe I can grow and understand why you cry about daughters. Tony even tried to say it's different with girls, all that stuff. But you still don't get a full pass because you went in there and you ain't take the years. You tried to do your plea.
Okay,
you acknowledge that you acknowledge that La Cosa Nostra exists, and you're never supposed to do that. You never say that. Yeah. Like, I did my 20 years. Like, you can't talk to me about this if you ain't never did it.
Yeah, that's true. Now, yeah,
y'all young kids make your own rules.
Yeah,
it's like they pulled a gunner.
Look at him. Allegedly.
For real.
I love you on one hand, but on the other hand, you a sucker. Like, because I think like what you're saying too, but I mean, literally Tony told him, now stop crying in the hospital. You know what I mean? And then lastly, just spend a little time. And then lastly, just I think Phil had an experience similar to Tony.
I agree with that.
And I think when Tony got out, that's why every day is a gift. You know, he's kind of having that every day is a gift moment. And then eventually that'll break off just like it did for Tony. You know what I mean? He's happiness every day is a gift, which everybody has that. Like when something tragic happens and you make it through, you're like, whoa. Whew, I thought that was going to be forever. You get through it. Every day is a gift from now on. And then it don't take shortly after that 3 months down the road, you back at it. Just try to take less risk with it, you know. So interesting scene. That's what this show does well. So if y'all got any theories on that, y'all can hit us up, goodearnerpod@gmail.com. We'll go to the next scene. I forgot they called Tony Pork Chop. I thought that was good. Now here's the craziest part. They're at AJ, Blanca, her son, Meadow, they're there. We got Carlo, Silvio. They're all there just waiting on the boss to get out. They're watching the news about Tony, and literally Tony walks in while watching the news. Like, that ain't gonna tell you how fast his lawyer got him out of there. His trial feel like it came up real quick. You know,
that was
just
pre-trial.
Pre-trial, okay, but it was enough to get it like dismissed.
That's just excuse me, that's an arraignment, what he went through. Just to like read the charges off, let us know how you plead. And then if you got a lawyer, you can pay your bill, you can go home and we'll bring it back to court on the date. But it got threw out as we found out, so he ain't got to go back. But yeah, that was just so he could get his lawyer to put his plea in and plead his case for bail.
Wow. It sounds like wouldn't it sound like he'd be flight risk though?
Yeah, but the charge not that serious.
Gun charge is not out.
Like, nah, if it's murder or something like that, then you can consider the flight risk stuff. But like Janet said, it's a gun charge, bro.
Especially when you consider the dude said this ain't from yesterday, this from 3 years ago, and it ain't enough to be trying to take your passport.
Right.
That's true. So Blanca's surprised that Tony gets out so fast, and AJ explains that where they're from, people don't get out that fast. And then Tony has this restraint. Bobby calls trying to get them out there as well. And when the look on Tony's face, the level of racism is just ridiculous. To see his Italian white privileged son that he's raised holding that Dominican boy, that pushed him over the top to say, you know what, hey, we're coming up North Jersey. Like, hey, get me out of here, because this is ridiculous right now. You know, and of course, you know, Meadow don't blink an eye because I mean she's dated, you know, across, you know, all you know, different people. So yeah, that was just funny. Go ahead.
Nah, everything you said, man, he just looks like, man, where did I go wrong?
Bruh.
He's disgusted.
Disgusted. Like
AJ lost in the sauce, boy.
I know. Man, what? Never mind. I was gonna come up with another. Never mind. All right.
It's gonna be a Moism.
Yep.
Were you about to move on to the next scene? Because there is one important thing we gotta just mention briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Christopher? Thought he was here.
And that look.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See,
that's important.
Good freaking call, bro. That little, we've been talking about this that way because when we get to Heidi and Kennedy, remember everything that we've said, and that's I'm not gonna spoil anything, but remember everything we've said from all the previous seasons, and then really track from the ride going forward. Everything we said, y'all track it, because without doing this podcast, I never had the understanding how we got there fully. You know what I mean? But once we have been doing these little things, it all makes so much more sense to me now. So
yeah, man. Great
nugget, bro.
Hey, man, this nigga looked at AJ holding that little brown kid and said, you know what, Bobby? I am going to come up for the weekend. I can't do this shit. Hey, that's fucked up,
bro,
man.
that's what I'm saying. That was the motivator. Like, bro, this is nuts. Like, this is too much.
Yeah, I ain't about to do this shit.
Yeah, I ain't got no time for it. But the FBI confronts the cops in North Caldwell that they're messing with their RICO case that they've been building for 5 years, which is really good. Like, just giving us that call back, like they ain't stopped doing this because Big P is dead, because Adriana's dead, you know, because Eugene is dead, you know. It's amazing. I love it. Like, because again, I think season 2 they were too heavy-handed with the feds, and I didn't like it. I talked about it in the first episode. It was too heavy-handed, but this works a lot better to me. So I'm glad that they giving us this subtlety. Like, oh yeah, we ain't forgotten it. Like, we ain't forgot.
We're still here.
Yeah. And then they said they called it a fart. I feel like, which ties into like the theme of bowel movements in this episode. With like all the jokes they were making with Phil or whatever. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it's, you know, I don't know. But yeah, Tony and Carm, they had to meet the Bacalas, and we found out that the case was dropped, which I think is like a quiet indicator that the FBI have the RICO brewing up nicely. But Tony doesn't know that. You know what I mean? So it's like, ooh, that's they dropped the case completely. Like, and then I obviously found out later.
Santa Claus could have dropped that gun in the snow.
Right. Which is funny because they're heading to Bacalaos and he was Santa Claus.
Look at you. Look at this guy. Professional.
But yeah, Tony and Carm, they make it there, and Spike Lee, you got some explaining to do. You know what you got to explain.
Real quick before he explains, I just want to say there's a subtle. This episode is brilliant to me because nothing happens and everything happens, right?
Yep.
But there's a subtle moment that kind of really defines, and we already know this about Tony, but it really defines a lot of his actions for the rest of the episode. When Tony tells Carm, "Stop, can you quit with my birthday? Stop reminding me it's my birthday." And she says, "You say that, but if nobody makes a big deal about it, you're gonna feel away."
Mm-hmm.
Like you want it to be one way, but it's the other. Like you try to be this one person, but you really care about all the stuff that you act like you don't care about.
Yep.
And I just think that's just a brilliant line when you think about everything that happens in this episode with the character of Tony.
That's great. Because even that later scene, Tony looked all grateful. Like, that I will get there, but I love that like moment, like, okay, we all are aware just because I don't say it all the time. I know, we all know, you know what I mean? So
what Spike Lee got to explain?
It goes back real quick. It goes back to that point we made about Carmela in the last episode and when she manipulated him with the Adriana thing. Like, I know you. Yeah. I know what you're going to do, my nigga. Like, there's no fooling me. So.
Yeah.
You finna talk about Bobby Shorts?
You know it.
That's what I figured it was.
Yeah, go ahead, man. That's your man. You've been championing him since season 2.
First of all, I think those are trunks. And the t-shirt's big. But that would be in style today. When niggas wear hoochie daddy
those
shorts
are past hoochies, bro. No, you trying real hard.
Nah,
bro.
them
hoochie daddy shorts, bro.
That ain't for his height. Nah,
hey, man.
Bro.
I don't partake, but I've seen it. Pause.
Do the research, nigga.
Do the knowledge, nigga.
Do the knowledge, nigga.
Yeah, I think them trunks. Them got to be trunks, bro.
Hey, bro.
Them can't be lounging around shorts.
Bro, pulling up with the t-shirt and your panties on theme song is like crazy, bro. Like, what are we doing, dog?
He like, damn near Winnie the Pooh out here.
I mean, for real though. Like
that's crazy.
Hey, bro, he was having.
But what you doing if you pull up? If you pull up and the brother-in-law's pulled up like that, you tell him at his crib,
and he got thong sandals on too, bro. The thong
what
sandals.
You doing though? That's his crib.
Hey, listen. Hey, Bobby, I might laugh at him like I did in the camouflage. Now, this moment is probably more fit for the laugh, the camouflage, like laugh that he had when he was laughing at Bobby. This could have been like a golden.
I don't think he's laughing because that shit normal to them. I don't think that's a big deal for them
I guess at this point,
by the lake in the swim trunks and I think that's a normal attire.
Well, I think he makes a comment about it, but I think at this point he's so used to his Bobby's obscurity that it's not even.
It don't even affect him no more.
It don't even affect him. Like he's seen him playing with trains with the train hat. Even Chief Janitor's like, did you have to wear the hat? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like I think maybe Tony's just so used to his obscurity that it ain't bother, but like this is crazy, bro. I'm sorry. Like every time I see this, I might have to go back to Talking Sopranos, see what Steve Sharippa might have said about this because this is crazy work. Like
he definitely commented on it too, probably.
Yeah.
No, this is completely random. I just thought about because we were talking about clothes. There's a Jay-Z line that I just now got 20 years later.
You're not talking about
I just got this weekend.
The Scooby.
Did I say it on something?
Yeah,
I said it already. Okay, got you. It made. I don't know why I was thinking about it because of clothes, but yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's hilarious. He was definitely having a hot girl summer.
Oh yeah, he was out here.
Yeah, but you know what? As much as I hate this outfit, I hate it. There is a real peace in how he looks right there.
Yeah, because
I feel like I feel like you see this imagery and then you see the last imagery of Bobby, and now the shorts are much longer. The shirt is all the way like this is like freedom. Like this look, that last look is not the same. I don't know how intentional it is, but it's like totally different. Khakis. This is like free, loose linen. Whatever. So there's a freedom Bobby has, and this is like pause with the pre-pop cherry look, kind of like. Now it's like, okay, bro, so I don't know if they did that on purpose, but like, yeah. But yeah, we see now, y'all please, here we go. We about to get into it. So there's a black nanny, and her name is Mercedes, right? Okay, all right. And then they call their daughter Nika. Listen, what
go ahead.
is wrong with you people? Why do y'all keep? I'm sorry. I am convinced you really got an issue with us, bro. Like, you got an issue with it. I'm sorry, because you at every turn you're doing this. It's not even like
might be a reach. I think that might be a little bit of a reach, but I get what you're saying.
Nika.
I think that, yeah, but her name is, yeah. I get what you're saying. I just, come on. Are they trying that hard? I don't know if they trying that hard.
Tony Yayo mean, bro. The Tony Yayo look, bro. Like,
yeah, because listen. Let me say this, man. That last thing I'm trying to do is defend white men from racism. So I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I don't know, man. That's diabolical. That's diabolical thinking if that was intentional.
Why though? Like, it's like, that ain't even needed. Like,
because her name, we know her names for some. You talking about the fact that they're calling her? It's not Dominica. It's something. The last of her name is Nika, and they've been calling her that. Is it Dominica?
I think it is.
Okay, then, yeah, and they've been calling her Nika. I don't think that's new. I think they called her that at the rides with the probably went cheap on it. And she was looking at the rides and like, "What you doing? You want to get back on there?" I think that we've heard that before. So I don't think that was explicit for this episode, but we can double check. Somebody can write in.
Yeah, please, y'all. Come on, bro. Monica. I said Monica, not my nigga. Monica. Yeah, all right.
Wow.
Like, stop playing in my face. I'm sick of it. I've been waiting. I've been letting it marinate. I've been trying to give it integrity, but come on, bro. Every corner turn, it's something. And now we got a maid or a babysitter or named Mercedes.
A nanny
named Mercedes.
David Chase probably listening to this, looking at Mo like David Chase listening to this, looking at Mo like, how about that? How about that? Just mocking you, like, bro, shut up.
Thanks.
How about that?
How about that? How about that?
Hey, that's one of the best. That's one of the best still shots. That's one of the best still shots of Soprano. That look Bobby give when that nigga do that shit. Every nigga in the world has had that look that they had to get to somebody like, hold on, man, this dude about to take this somewhere else.
David Chase or whoever looking like, oh well, like, what are you gonna do?
Oh man, I can't wait till we get there.
I mean, because it's like, yo, this is not even funny anymore, bro. Like, it's just you doing it because it's
playing,
so easy.
Bro. You playing in my face, bro. Stop playing with me.
It's just so easy to do. Like, that's what it seems like at this point. It's like, this is a layup, Mercedes. Oh man, goodness gracious.
Yeah, David Chase don't have any black friends. You can tell by
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
He probably got one black friend. And that's because you probably have to have a black friend.
That's
he
probably,
can say, I got a black friend.
Probably like a quarter black.
Yeah. He definitely don't got no black friend.
Nah, not at all. No. Because this is ridiculous. Even Many Saints, too. Well, yeah, whatever. We're still here, the Black Soprano podcast. Now, Janice complains about not having a gardener, and he replies, so the house wasn't enough. I felt him on that. Like,
I mean, but he opened that can of worms. Though. This nigga said if Frank Sinatra was coming up here to celebrate his birthday, would you leave the lawn like that? Right? Who criticizes somebody's lawn at a fucking lake house, bro?
So
like that.
You're right. And then, well, that's Tony's diabolical. He loves to pick at. He said it to Melfi. Like, he just loves
trying to bring him. He trying to bring him a notch down. Yeah, it's a pick at because they don't got a lake house. Like, they had one or tried to get one and nothing went through. Like, they got like this is a nice property Bobby got up here.
Legit.
Tony probably was feeling slick, intimidated. So let me make something wrong.
You know what? That's a good point, because that is on some like, you got something I don't kind of thing. And it's like now, and Bobby's hosting, And I don't like the idea that I got that. Yeah, I got the Sacrimony house that I gave y'all, and then now we're here, and you got this, and now Janice is acting all like, yeah, we seen how Janice when she act like she got it together, how Tony takes it or whatever, because like you ain't gonna beat me to getting it together. I'm getting it together first. But anyway, yeah, that's a good point, Spike. I think there's something there. So yeah, but again, loving this. This is I don't know who wrote this, but man, what a concept. Tony and Bobby, they go out and he gives them the AR-10, and we find out that Bobby has been hunting with a bow and arrow. True marksman, This must be where he's got his his skill at really shooting. But we also get the Easter egg of not shooting using the AR-10 to go in a hunting season because it's not fair. So we get that kind of Parker Brothers thing right here, kind of like he wants to play with dignity and wants to. This is why Blue Comet is Blue Comet, is because of these moment. Like, to me, like this is exactly why.
Yep, this seems like a nothing scene, but this is seasoning for the episode. Like, just like with the lawn care statement. Now, you hunt with a bow and arrow, Mr. Outside, Mr. fucking National Forest. Like, more and more throughout this trip, Tony is feeling belittled by Bobby, and Bobby just being himself.
Yeah.
But Tony taking it a certain type of way, and you know how niggas get around their birthday. You getting older, people, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of this adds up perfectly.
Yeah. Dang, that's good. Now, see, I think now you've reframed the lens in which we about to go through this review. The way you just said it, like I'm going to try to look at this whole thing. I mean, we know it's his birthday, but it's not the focal point. Which kind of speaks to the end at the end thing. But I'm gonna reframe this in my mind to like, okay, this is a birthday weekend, right? All right. So they sit at the lake, and they're just chilling for a moment, looking at the wonderful view. This is what I want to be on. We talk about it. Shout out to Another Week in the Books and you two fellas, book 1 and 2, just, being on the porch. We've talked about this right here. This is what it's about right here.
It is.
This lake view. I don't know what they eating on. There's tomatoes.
Water splashing. Beer.
Yeah, the water splashing.
Grill going.
They're not even hot. There's no sweat. So it's not like when him and, his cousin was outside. He had the rag on his head. Like, this is like, okay, this is like that perfect evening breeze. We chilling. We hoping the sun don't go down for at least another hour and a half just to enjoy this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Carmela brings up how they almost had a beach house like this.
Carmela funny, man.
Bruh. Hey, you remember Tony? And Tony overlooks it completely.
Yeah, man. Pass the stuffed mushrooms, man. Fuck you talking about.
Yeah, bro. Like, just like, obviously for those, if y'all ain't track, White Caps, season 4. But Janice makes this statement about them being in a better place because of Tony changing. And that is crazy. And they kind of let him marinate. And then he kind of has like similar to a Martin moment where he said, Tony randomly later just kind of asked, different how.
Why you ain't get me out the shower?
Yeah, exactly. He see, my guy. He know exactly what I'm getting at. We use that every day, all the time, me and my sister. But what did y'all think about her saying that? Like, how would y'all felt if y'all was Tony?
I'm glad you brought this up because I wanted to get y'all opinions on this. Do you feel the way? Does Tony have? I don't want to say a right because you have a right to feel however you want to feel. Was Tony out of bounds for taking it that way? Like, I had to change. Like, he took it personal, which is a common theme between them. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we all know there's underlying issues between Tony and Janice. They're related by blood. I think Janice even said the only thing keeping us together is DNA. But there's just always a certain exception that he just takes with something that she says and vice versa. You think it was fair for him to look at it that way?
Yep.
Yeah, knowing how fucked up she is too. Like, I changed. Like, bitch, is you crazy?
I think that's part of why, right? Because it's Janice. Anybody else, you might give a fact, but it's the fact that I know it's you. You ain't about to play me. The same way later in the episode when he was sitting in the chair, and she said, I seen that. Look, people sit in chairs. Bob was like, people sit in chairs. Like, nah, I know him. I know what that means. Like, it's different. And I think that's part of it, that familiarity. And that goes perfect to the Soprano home movies. This whole episode is just to remind us about this is deeper than rap. Like this is deeper than what you're gonna get in 6 seasons of television. I know these are fictional characters, but the issues that you see today are long rooted, you know, and they come because there's a special thing that only they can really relate to. And now everybody else is gonna be sucked into that orbit, because of everything that's going on. So it's very interesting to look at. But yeah, for them to for Tony to just neither one of them can let shit go.
Yeah.
Tony could have easily been like, you know what, man, fuck what she talking about.
Yeah.
If she had stated it different, though, I think it would have went over better with Tony. If she had told him first that you're different versus saying you've changed, I feel like that he would have took that another way. Like he would have took it in a much better spirits. But her just leading with, "Oh, you've changed, and that's the reason our relationship is better," versus, "Oh, you're different." So I think that had a lot to do with it too. And bringing Carm in on it was nasty.
Yeah.
That was nasty.
I'm sure Carm would agree. Come on, man, stop.
Yeah, that's nothing.
And she did.
And she did. I mean,
now I'm pissed off at all.
But look at why y'all
Fuck
agree.
y'all.
Carm is getting her spec house, and you got the Johnny Sack house. Of course, y'all gonna agree. Thelma and Louise over here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like y'all over here, like all chummy laughing on my dime. Oh, I changed. Yeah, that change I got when I got both y'all them spots. Now it's all good. Now everybody want to click up with the boy. You know what I mean? And I felt him really just because it's like, bro, he always talked about it with Melfi. He's like, bro, you left us. Like, when he told Melfi, he's like, hey, don't get it twisted. It was every man for himself. Like when we was in the house and then blah, 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 like you extorted me with that tape and then you left us. You went up to Canada or whatever, left us and you know, blowing roadies or whatever. And like, now you came back and the only reason you came back is because you finessed to stay here. You know what I mean? Like you finessed here on my dime really because you got with Richie, then you got with Ralph, and then you got with Bobby, and all three of them, you kept trying to force them to get something from me. So everything's I'm on my dime, and then you telling me, oh, we're good now because you've changed. Like I'm happy to be here with you. Like that, I can't stand when people do stuff like that. Like, so I felt them completely like, man, because change requires work. And you think I'm working to fix this thing with us? Man, knock it off, bro. But then they bring up this kid almost drowning, and you know, this is just got Livia
Such
sauce.
a Carmelo story.
Oh, you don't want to know.
Livia sauce, like
as she continues to get into the story. Like, I'm about to just tell the story and keep it moving.
Nobody and it ain't even nobody y'all know though. This is like she's a pharmacist. Like, who the fuck are these people you talking? I don't even know these people.
Listen, that when I used to smoke, like there was a couple we used to kick it with, and that the wife, she used to always go in this lane, bro. And it's like, bro, that is not the element in which I want to hear them stories. Like, and that always used to happen to the point I'd be like, hey, look, we ain't smoking with them no more. Cause
especially with my daughter by the water in the lake. And you talking about her, you talking about a kid who got brain dead because she drowned in the lake. Like, why would you tell this story right now? And that's Tony, like the story about the pool. Like Tony's doing that on purpose as a response to her. That's why all of this is fascinating. If you don't know them,
for real.
Yeah, because if you don't know them, you wouldn't even pick up on it. But like I said, the intimacy of that relationship is crazy.
He trying to suck all the air out of the room.
Yep.
Like y'all in here enjoying this, I've changed, and you like this. And like, nah, I don't want everybody to be back sad.
Yeah, that's really Livia. Like that's all like, Livia.
He was on some Igor shit.
Really though. And
Eeyore.
Yeah, no, for definitely on some Eeyore. Like, and you just think about like it's funny because the AJ thing later. You know what I mean? Everything starts to get real tight knit and like, you know, this is sown over here and this is the harvest over here in the season. Like, it's really about to get tight knit in that because that bringing up that thing and then what we get later in these last few episodes, it's just perfect. So yeah, that's crazy. I don't even know what they're getting. I mean, I guess I
love
what
I love Bobby. I know I'm a Bobby fan, but I love. Like I've been in those, like you said, when you're in relationships and then a conversation happened, you don't want nothing to do. I ain't even looking over here, nigga.
Now there's a Bobby scene I love later. There's a few Bobby scenes I love.
I ain't got nothing to do with this.
Bobby got a few
Bobby
like,
episode.
Yeah, this is I like this episode because it's like it puts us in a place where it's really these four, and we could focus in at the end, like who's the, you know what I mean.
This they did such a great job that this is the Bobby that you think about when you think about Sopranos. Yep. You don't think about till the victors go to spoils. Like all of that gets erased because of this one episode.
Yep.
So
You look
much
at Bobby
screen time.
You look at Bobby completely differently if this episode don't exist.
Yep.
It erases everything that every time Bobby got slighted, it erases all of that. Because all I need is an opportunity. All I need is a shot. Bobby show you what's gonna happen if you get a shot.
True.
Facts.
Yeah. Okay.
I go a good Mo scene right here.
Y'all gonna miss these Moisms. Hopefully the next show got some of that. Got some Moism in it. All right, so here we go, fellas. So the morning after, and it's an interesting thing. Talk about tight knit writing. So Tony, we wake up, we see Tony reacting, giving it up crazy, like not as much as he did in the car.
Crazy.
But like he's getting it off, and then she gets up and says happy birthday. Okay, so a couple of things, fellas. Did she do what we think she did?
What do you think? What else do you think she was doing, Mo?
I mean, not that, but the bonus. Because I definitely
everything that you're thinking of, I'm sure
absolutely.
Oh, okay. All right. I was thinking, I was like, okay, now that's one. She did went over and beyond. All right. Second thing. Are we led to believe that she does this once a year on his birthday, just like it was alluded in Boca that he does that to her once a year for her birthday? Is that what we're supposed to believe here?
First, to answer your question, yes, she did finish her dinner.
Okay.
Two.
I like that term better. She finished the dinner. Clean
She finished the dinner. That's what I thought too, Mo. And I immediately was like, man, getting head once a year sounds like an awful proposition.
Yeah, that is.
Charles for divorce right there.
Hey, man, just come on, bro.
Like, I'll be a cheating fool.
He is. I am a cheating fool.
And
they
call him why he cheat.
They call
maybe
in the
he
house.
got more head. Maybe if he got more head, he wouldn't cheat as much.
That's a start. That's a start.
Well, maybe Carmella know he cheating. She don't want to suck his stick because all the
that good. See, there you go. I think Spike, I think you're a feminist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in women's rights.
Yeah. Hey, man. I second that. Keep that the same energy.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I said, yo, are we to believe that? And I think that's what it is. I think that it's crazy, but I think that's what it is. Like the happy birthday right at well, you know how that goes.
That's the happy birthday after the blowjob. Like, come on, what we doing?
That should be a Tuesday.
That's where I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, my right.
That's where I'm gonna. My mo is I'm gonna.
I was gonna get this if it was my birthday or not. So I don't know what you're saying that for.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, he literally did while she was in Paris. Remember, he was in the car getting it off. Like yeah.
Carmella look like she might still have some skills too.
Now, I think I would say that's probably
not a bad Carmella episode at all.
Not a bad.
Yes. Okay. My guys. My kind of guys. Yep. I got some things to say. But that like Tony looks like he is good. Like that, like he's like after the fact, it's like, oh man, we are this is
I needed that.
That's some
that
shit.
was one of them. I needed
that fresh out the joint. I needed that.
Yeah, that's some shit. That's some shit Rick Ross would rap about. Getting topped off at the lake or something like that. The lake counts getting, man, I can hear it right now.
That's right there.
Yeah, on my birthday, yeah.
On my birthday, I can hear it, man. She gave me a yeah, that's good.
That Ross clip was hilarious.
Bruh, I laugh like because they cut it off right when Mike.
He shouldn't be that naturally funny, bro. He didn't even break.
He got listen.
He didn't even break. That was hilarious,
bro.
Man.
He has no business being that funny.
No,
he ain't blend your shit.
Like for real.
Like that's a beautiful picture. Like at everything.
That was because that's something that I would say, and that's what made it was so funny to me how he said. I would have probably said that to something like that.
Yeah, that's your version of that is your version of it is what was the
last
game? Do you remember the game? That's the Spike Lee version of that. This is like, oh man, that's sad, man. That's tough. You remember the game? Like that's oh man, that's a classic Spike Lee moment, boy. Yeah. All right. So we get we kind of bounce around a little bit, but we get Tony and Bobby on a classic boat, which this definitely.
Listen to me. When I tell you Bobby is stunting on this man, like it makes sense. When you look at this episode a couple of times, like Bobby is in his bag.
Yeah.
Come up to my lake house, nigga. I'm up here with my nanny up here taking care of the daughter, nigga. Oh yeah, my granddad passes. Oh, let's go out on the boat. That ain't no cheap boat either, nigga. That's a
Yeah,
nice
that's a
boat.
nice little boat.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
it
he
ain't no
flexing on
Stugatz, but
Tony.
you know, this definitely look like a 70s, 80s joint. Like that boat been around. Like
Yeah, that's a more custom wood joint. That
so a
motherfucker,
vintage. Like that's look like a vintage for real. Like to be
he
honest.
flexing.
But, hey, I didn't even see again. There you go. The lenses you putting on this that really start to build towards how we get there.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good. But yeah.
Did you talk about Carmela's call home?
Yeah, I didn't. I was gonna tie it all together, but go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I ain't really had nothing. Just Carm calls AJ, and he set up a party, and
Listen, it's one thing. The only reason I want you to bring this up, we've all been there, man. We all done had the parents out of town, couple visitors, had your shorty over and stuff like that. But in your people's bed, you
The
got
disrespect.
a whole. You got
The
a whole. Even if you
disrespect.
want to use the jacuzzi, which was crazy because you got a whole pool outside.
yeah,
That's cool. Even if you use the jacuzzi, you can tolerate that. But the fact that you have your own bedroom 3 feet away and you trying to fuck in your parents' bed is why would you want to do that anyway? Like, why would you want to, especially when I got my own shit? That shit crazy to me.
Have y'all ever snuck a girl in y'all mom's house?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
Was they there?
What?
Was they there?
nah, but I definitely snuck and got my joint cop though. Like that wasn't on like keep the door open. Definitely find a way to get the door closed quietly, and definitely find a way to execute. Like
yeah, I pulled it off once too.
Yeah, like I didn't sneak them in. Yeah, but I mean, the sneak was really like we parked in front of the apartment and we gonna get it off right here. But you know,
my sneak was they sleep. She not waking up, bro. They sleep. We good.
Get it, young man.
Yeah.
So.
And then you like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, so what? You get caught? Like, I'm 17 years old, nigga. 16.
Yeah, I guess that's probably like boy privilege at that point, huh? Son privilege, you know. For sure. But yeah, the only thing AJ he always acts like, you know, when his mom tells him something, he act like he does things right and you're overbearing, but he never does things right. That's always the thing why we hate AJ. But yeah. Then we get Janice and Carm in the kitchen.
I can guarantee you those cellar windows didn't get closed.
No.
I know that didn't happen.
Nah.
That did not happen.
Carm just likes the idea of still feeling like a parent, bro. And I'm not mad at her for that because she know he's an idiot, but she just got to, you know.
He didn't even hear the word cellar windows. Like, he didn't even hear that.
Look,
AJ, block in his face. Yeah, come on. He out of here.
Bro, AJ didn't hear nothing. This is literally like when somebody introduces themselves and they tell you their name and you forget right away their name. Like, that's AJ. Like in everything.
I must be AJ.
I do. I do.
No, we all. I'm saying we all do it, but AJ's like that with everything. Like you just told him and he forgets right away. Like, what? So y'all know how we talked about this Janice and Carmela scene. Y'all know how we talked about the disingenuous conversation in the episode with Tony and Chris, the ride. This feels like the same thing to me with Janice and Carm. It's just I just like the lies we tell ourselves. Like that's the only thing that I gathered from this scene. Did y'all gather anything else from this interaction between them two?
I think it's just Janice being judgmental. I heard you with AJ. God, you got to walk on eggshells. Kind of like critiquing Carmela's parenting. And Carmela really not wanting to get into it, but then that's why you get the scene later when Janice is kind of doing the same thing, and Carmela's like, I know what you're doing, and like what you was talking about earlier. I think this scene is similar to that. It's just Carmela, it was early enough in the trip where she wasn't irritated by her yet, but Janice trying to get her to say something, was complain about AJ or admit that I may be better off than you right now.
Yeah.
Like she flexing. Yeah. This is another flex.
Another flex. Like we got our daughter Nika, and
you're flexing.
And we got a nanny. You should have got a nanny. Cause never mind. There's a whole thing. I should really give it up on like the black mom thing, but I'm gonna let it marinate. But shout out to Mercedes. But yeah, that's a good point. Another flex. You know what I mean? Like kind of like getting this off. Like, because listen, I'm keeping it a bean with y'all. The couples politic thing exists, bro. That absolutely exists. Anybody listening, if you're a couple and you hung out with another couple or whatever it is, that couple dynamic thing exists. You're not necessarily trying to flex on the person, but you definitely trying to like, you know what I mean, subtly be like, yo, I got it together kind of deal. Like, or whatever. Yeah, I want to kind of show you that I kind of got it together in a subtle way. it exists. Yeah. Like, and women play this whole thing. Like when they're doing this thing, like that's why how they were playing. I was like, bro, that's so women. Like the way they did it, I was like, oh, that's them because they're talking in a whole nother language we wouldn't pick up.
Facts.
But anyway, so we get Tony and Bobby. This is probably
real quick. It's funny that you say that. I know all of us have had these conversations where you're talking to your girl and she, like y'all get back to the car. You see what that bitch did? And you missed all of you. Yeah. Like, I didn't see none of that. I didn't even know this was happening. Yeah, that's the conversation you just talk about. Facts. Like it's crazy the different language that they have.
Do you ever pick up after the fact? Like once she so many times
once she explained it,
you start be like, looking like, okay, now you might bring it to her.
See that.
Did you think some of this? Like
Facts.
Yeah. That stuff is interesting though. Women, boy, they get you locked in. Like when you start really how they pick up stuff, you start like, okay, then how'd you get that? How'd you get there?
Facts.
You didn't see how she said when she said this and that. Oh, like you get locked in for real.
They had their own world.
Hey, bro. Listen, it's the women world and like the gays world, bro. Like they got a seriously. My brother, like he told me like how the world works over there. Like he like, bro, now you don't understand. Funny. And he broke it down. I was like, bro, you serious?
How the world works? How the world works over there? That's some David Chase shit right there, boy.
They got their own world over there.
They got their own world, bro. You know what I'm saying? They got a president.
They got the thing that goes on over there.
Yeah, you be. Hey, listen.
Oh man. Hey, bro, you funny as hell.
Shout out to Vito, man. Never mind. I'm leaving. All right. Because I really about to go there. But yeah, Tony and Bobby, they have a real conversation. This is probably like top 10 Soprano lore. I feel like of just what represents everything about this show. Everything in this scene. One of the best written scenes of the series by far. And it shows the right two people to execute it. Tony is thinking about how things will end for him. He says 80% of the time we end up like Johnny Sack in the can, and then the other percent end up at Cosarelli's. Obviously, call back to where they have all the funerals in this world. But he says no risk, no reward. It's kind of this thing of him trying to convince himself. That's what feels like a tie back to Phil in a way. Like you're saying things to convince. All these characters are lying to themselves. Kind of like that's what it's starting to feel like. Everybody's lying not only to others, but now they're starting to lie to themselves. But I'm not gonna take over the whole scene. I want to get y'all takes on like just some stuff in this scene, man. Because, man, a lot.
Really, it's just one of you. There's not really much to say. It's just beautiful writing and a beautiful acting. I mean, it just kind of explains everything perfectly. It's one of the few things in Sopranos that's profound, yet it's very simple. It doesn't need like a full breakdown. They're telling you exactly what it is. This is the show. This is the show.
Yeah.
This is what we've been building up to for the past 6 seasons. This is it. Like everything that you're saying, this is right. Like once again, this is all the big nothing. You guys are waiting to see what happens, but we've been telling y'all how this ends. Like we know it, they know it, the whole nine. Carmela, is this it? We all know it. It's just beautifully, it's beautifully done. It's symbolic. Like you said, it's top 10 Sopranos lore as far as scenes. I'm sure if they kept record of the most Googled or YouTubed Sopranos scenes, this would probably be up there.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those ones. And
great thing
about this.
Happen
when it comes.
Facts. The great thing about this is you mentioned it earlier, Mo, when we talked about Franklin and all the people and what comes from this game, when the different games that they went in. Tony ain't like a lot of people in this. Is like, I know how this is going to end, dog. A lot of people have these fairy tales. We can go to Franklin and you can think, well, he had this fairy tale that he was going to take this money and that's what his downfall was. I was gonna get this money from Reed and go live this wonderful life and be a real estate agent, stringer. I won't turn into a businessman and make this drug. Like, you're not looking at this for what it is, bro. You're going to jail or you're going to die. Those are the two outcomes. And for Tony to sit there and say it and like voice it, and then a lot of civilians are looking at him like, well, why do y'all do it? And then you go to the famous line, Avon. I guess I'm just a gangster, I suppose.
Just a gangster, I suppose.
You know what I'm saying?
Why be in the
So
crew?
Go to Avon, you go to Mitch. You know, I love the game. I love the hustle.
I love the hustle.
What's my man Ray Liotta in Goodfellas? Like, as long as I know, all I ever wanted to be was a gangster. Like, this was the beautiful part. Like, it don't take too much explaining, like you two guys said, but this was the beautiful part about this, and the difference between Tony Soprano and a lot of the gangsters that we see on film and TV. Like, they think it's gonna end another way, but he just blatantly said, like, bro, I know what's coming for me. That was great.
And also, of course, the underlying part of this scene is knowing a little bit more about Bobby. You know, the fact that Bobby's never popped his cherry when it came to catching.
Was that a surprise to y'all?
It was, especially when because it's one of those things you don't think about in real time. Maybe because you don't look at Bobby in that way, but it's like, oh snap, Bobby never has. Because I think you've seen Bobby intimidate somebody before.
Here, and here.
But and you've seen him shoot the rapper.
Okay, yeah.
But the fact that he doesn't have a body, so it's like, damn, you don't have a body, and we know the reputation. Pine Barrens, and once again, like I said, they do a good job of storytelling. We know his dad's the Terminator. And he even mentions, like, my dad never wanted it for me. Like, my dad has shared things with me where he wishes he just stayed in the barbershop and cut hair full time because that shit fucks with you. That shit, that's not, I think very early, like season 1, they talk about your first one and what that does to you. And just it gets easier over time. Or Paulie might have been talking about it later on in this season. But either way, this ain't a normal life. I think that's what they're trying to make. Like, killing people is not normal. Like, my dad who's murdered hundreds didn't want this for me, which is why I'm a grown man in my 40s, early 40s, and I've never had a body in this life.
And to add to the theme of the episode, this is Tony trying to flex back. Yeah, you got all this, and you talk about it's our line of work and what we do. And immediately what Tony goes, well, like, I mean, well, you ain't really like me. You ain't never killed nobody. It's fascinating, this tug of war that they play in the whole episode.
Yeah.
Until it finally spill over. Like, why even bring that up? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a really subtle back and forth that they go through the whole episode.
But don't it seem like it? You know, it seems like every time they're trying to flex, at least I speak to Bobby, Bobby has such a defensive shield, it doesn't work. And it almost like like it reflects back, because when he says, no, I mean, I've done other shit, I've come close, which is funny, kind of tying into like pop your cherry, like virginity, like, you know, when you never lost your virginity, you like, I've done other stuff, I kissed her, I hugged her, you know, all that stuff. It's funny they doing that thing, but even then when Bobby's saying it, he's saying it, but he's not ashamed, you know what I mean? And it's like, Tony's kind of like, I salute, you know, kind of like, he's not proud about the fact that like, this is the way, because Tony's always teetered with this idea of he could have been somebody else. He could have been selling patio furniture. You know what I mean? He could have been Kevin Finnerty. This
might be it. Yeah. I think it might be a little of animosity too. It's just the fact that Bobby never had to.
Yeah.
A little bit of jealousy. You know what I mean? I think that's what you're probably alluding to as well. That's, you didn't have to live this life. Like, you got a Picasso in your house.
You got a Picasso. Great point.
You know what I mean? Like, you got a whole other thing. Like, you don't even have to do this. Your dad shielded you from this.
Yeah.
My dad shooting my mom store hair. You got this lake house. You got the piece. I got the stew guys, but it don't come with the piece.
Haircut, barber.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, the stew guys is a bigger boat. It's nicer, but it don't bring me the same type of piece.
Come on. Yeah, man. This is good, bro. And it does. This boat feels good. Like, just looking at it, I'm like, man, I really want to.
It's a slick boat, man.
It's a slick boat.
It doesn't look like much, but like Spike said, that bad boy is expensive. That's not a boat. That's an expensive boat.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we could find some on YouTube talking about like the price of that boat, but like that boat looks so chill. Got the windows on the joint. You know what I mean? He got the beard just chilling on the side. Like, man. Anyways, a man can dream. But Yeah, so Tony, and he gets further into his like dissertation of it, like just saying that like, him and Chris have different agendas. That's he's.
Do you think Bobby knew who he was talking about?
I would
I
like
think
to
so.
think so.
I think so. I don't think Bobby's so unaware. Like I think after the Junior shooting, I think Bobby got tapped in. I think he's fully tapped in on, okay, I need to be paying attention to what's going on, because that Tony took it hard to the point. Bobby loved Uncle Junior like a father, and he had to go tell Junior like, hey, look, I can't see you no more, bro. And so I think Bobby's fully tapped in on, because even later how Bobby's playing the politics with Tony. He understands what all of this means based on what he does. So I think Bobby's tapped in. So I think he knew he was talking about Chris. Like I definitely think so. And then again, this is just another nugget tying back to what Rick said earlier about like, where's Christopher? Like this is another one of those nuggets, and we'll get one more of those about Chris later in this episode.
It's a beautiful. I love that scene so much. Too.
Yeah, it's so subtle, and it's like if you picking it up, you know exactly what it means.
Oh man!
So that location is Putnam Valley, New York. That's where they are.
Well,
just looked it up.
Okay.
I was looking for what kind of boat that was, and that came up, so I just figured I corrected. Putnam Valley, New York.
Putnam Valley, yeah. Okay. But of course you probably never hear when it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course we can't go without mentioning that there's a few scenes that they lean all the way into that. And it's probably like 3, to be honest. And man, that's a haunting line, not just for the show, but in general. Yeah. Every time I hear it, I was like, bro, that's a dark line. Like, just period, And then they just talk, he's like, look at us being morbid. And that happens sometimes too. But anyway, Tony's birthday dinner. Tony gets the Soprano home movies from Janice and custom golf clubs from Carmela. Of course, he got the AR from Bobby earlier. And they begin getting drunk and doing karaoke.
That's a bullshit birthday gift from Janice if I'm Tony. Like, come on, I got you this house this year.
You
got
house, bro.
Fucking
you are
home
nuts.
movies. Man, get this shit out of my face, man.
She always had an eye.
I'd have left that shit up there.
She always had an eye.
Hey, Spike funny as fuck, bro. Spike, because I can see Spike just saying that in real time. Like, yo, what the fuck is this?
Man, listen, bro. Rich
like
ought to left that up there.
Not Leon, but you'd be like Uncle what's his name?
Jerome.
Uncle Jerome.
Fuck out of here, little nigga. Fuck out of here, little nigga.
Take
that dumb shit with you.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm weak.
For real, like,
and knowing Spike would have done it in a way that I want to make sure you know that I left it up here.
I ain't fucking with this. Yeah,
Spike will put that shit in the refrigerator. Some shit that you gotta go into.
Like,
I want you to know that I left this bullshit.
Put this in the refrigerator. Shit. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just
man, that's funny. Carmela got a dope gift though. Them golf clubs are where it was. That's a nice set right there.
She got it. She got it right. I guess she nailed it.
Yeah, that's a nice ass set right there.
Yeah, I mean, she started the morning off right, getting the night right.
Hey, she nailed it. She showed up for her, man.
Yeah, she showed up, boy. I was like, hey, all right, Mel.
These motherfuckers in here drinking, boy.
Hey,
bro, you see all them bottles of liquor? They was getting to it.
Anytime I see a bottle of gin, I'm like, ooh.
Oh,
yeah. If you want gin, it's another type of party going on.
Yeah, it's a whole lot.
Like this,
they drank gin on this.
Oh yeah, there's a bottle right after Carmela's singing, and they pan into them at the table playing Monopoly.
Oh,
there's like a little brief pan. The Bombay, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and it's Bombay. Oh my goodness.
I can't see any reason in the history of life for me to drink gin ever again in my life. Like I won't take a mixed drink with gin. I don't want any gin, bro. I'm good.
Gin is like, you cannot convince me. I would still take some vodka, but you just can't get me on no gin, bro.
Nah, you're not getting me on no gin at all.
That gin is crazy, bro.
A nigga bringing a bottle of gin, I'm gonna look at you funny.
Yeah.
Bro, what you got going on?
If you bring a bottle of gin, I know I whatever time I said I was leaving, move it back an hour. Move it up an hour.
That's real, because if you like gin, that's cool. You enjoy gin in the privacy of your own home and your own outings. But everybody knows gin is not a universal. You don't bring bottles of gin to the party because nobody's drinking it. Unless you want to be, that's some Larry David shit. I know nobody's gonna drink this, so I'm gonna bring it. You might as well pull up. You might as well pull up with cans of Four Loko.
Yep.
On some real shit. Like Yeah, y'all see these niggas' faces that they just made when I mentioned that.
Gosh, every time I look, I just stare at Four Loko just because I know.
When I tell you, we got everybody done had one of them Four Loko nights because you thought it was a game. You thought it was a game, and then you done drunk 2 Four Lokos. And
hey, listen, we're about 10 years. Yes. We're about 10 years away from them ads coming up on the commercials. Like, did you consume Four Lokos between 2006 and 2000? Hey, man, you might be entitled to compensation.
Ah, man, please do. I'm going all the way through the process.
Crazy.
Yeah, that shit was insane.
Yeah, they had some Molly or something in that joint, bro.
Nah, they had all. So I don't even want to know what's in that shit. The shit that FDA just banned, it was in Four Loko.
Oh God,
yeah, it was in Four Loko for sure.
Boy, that brought back memories.
Yeah, boy, like that's why I say I know when we meet in person, like I can't wait to like laugh about like at length of these stories about one another, like because I know we got so many stories we never shared on air, obviously for obvious reasons, but like in person,
not for public consumption.
Yeah, but like we start sharing them stories, like yo, nigga, you wild. You know, I look forward to that. So, but yeah, we get to that, you know, they begin getting drunk and doing karaoke, man. The night is going good. This is my idea night. Like I was going to say,
hey Mo, this is an ideal night for me. Monopoly,
a
little drink,
karaoke,
maybe have a little smoke for me. Yeah, like, we doing.
Yeah.
I could play Monopoly. I can never find anybody want to play Monopoly.
I play Monopoly cards now. I play Monopoly cards though.
I don't know what that is.
That game. It's really good, bro.
You have to look that up.
If you got a good circle of friends, get you the cards. It's real easy. It's a lot faster, and the premise is real simple. You know what I mean? So, but they got a Monopoly card game. Of course, you can find it at Target with all of the classics. Get that game, bro. Have some people over, and trust me when I tell you, it's even more fun when you got a whole bunch of people, just like Monopoly. So
yeah.
But yeah, ideal right here, man. They drinking the good stuff. They, having a good time. Tony smoking a cigar. You know it's serious when you got like smoke floating. Like you see this scene where they're like at the table, they're drinking, and there's just they pan out and it's got smoke just floating in the air. Like, come on, bro. Like we are in the zone right now. And they start playing Monopoly on their own way. Bobby believes in the rules. And
I'm with it.
Bobby a rule following nigga, man.
Yeah, I felt him though. Like I because like y'all didn't introduce me to this. Like that, like okay, hold up. If that's why we know in the black functions how y'all
got to establish it in the beginning.
How do y'all play?
Yeah. Before we even start,
Joker Deuce. You know what I mean? Yeah. How y'all play it?
Like, Ace is high.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to establish.
Same with Uno. Y'all know Uno got real rules. I'm sure not one black person has ever opened up the rule book in Uno ever. Nah.
We play every here and there. We'll do it for like some. Let's like it's probably one of the newer Unos, but like we always say, y'all play stacks. Yep, cool. That's all we need to know.
But I feel Bobby though because it's not like he was just doing it to be a prick. Like the Parker brothers took their time. You taking a game of skill and you making it about luck. That's why he's upset. It's not because y'all making our own thing, but this is really a certain way. There's strategy to this. Y'all just making it on some I'll collect 100 because you did.
If I land here, yeah. Have y'all played it that way? It is. It makes it entertaining though. It ain't.
No, I haven't.
It's been a minute since I played. Yeah.
Every fine that you take, you put it under the free park. And when somebody land like the tax, like motherfucker go to jail, whatever it may be, any fine that come up, it goes under free parking, and you land on free parking, you get all the money under free parking.
I think I've seen that as a kid though.
It make for an interesting game.
Yeah, absolutely, like all that. But again, I think there's a lesson to be said that it's like you make your own luck. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of what they're getting at. It's like, Bobby, you're so concerned with the rules. It's like if you concerned with the rules, go be a civilian. Like seriously, like you're concerned with the rules. Like that ain't how this thing works. Like we're not good people. We're not trying to be decent. Like bro, like let's not get it twisted. I get they're trying to have a civil night, but like this reminds you of who these Sopranos are. You Sopranos take it too far.
Hey, man, and the fact that they all been drinking. So this is a part of the night where everybody's starting to feel good.
Yeah,
and then the filter that you might have is going
more loose. Yeah,
and now it's like I've always wanted to wonder this. I've always wondered this. Let me start asking some questions and staying this on your mind. And then the small stuff that really don't matter, right? The small stuff that you like compartmentalize and just say it ain't that deep. Now it's that deep.
Yep.
Now I'm upset about this game because you just landed on free parking after these few drinks.
Now I don't even like the rule no way.
I don't even like the rules. So I'm about to say, I'm about to express myself. And like, how about I make my own rule? And this nigga mocking you? How about that? How about that?
Listen,
hey, what I'm gonna do?
You would have might have got Stolo right, like bro. Because I know myself. When you lit like that, you're like, bro, who you talking to?
Yeah, bro, stop playing with me. Don't do that no more. Don't do that no more.
Don't do people, the listeners that aren't black and don't have any full awareness of it.
Yes.
If you ever at a black function and it's this point in time of the night at the spades table, it might be time for you to go because something is gonna happen. Like when you get to this point right here at the spades table, niggas start throwing the cards down, and every time they got a book, they got something smart to say, and it's like, hold on, bro, like who you talking to? This what this reminded me of, like that night of the.
Hey, all of a sudden you trying to figure out why I gotta be a bitch ass nigga. Yeah, bitch ass nigga. Like, damn, why I gotta be all that?
Nigga done ran a Boston on you, and he talking crazy.
Get your whole ass off the table. Get your bitch ass off the. All right, nigga, hold on.
Now you don't want to
get up. Hold on.
Make me get off the table.
Yeah, see, that's like it ain't about rules. Who got next? But no matter who got next, none of that stuff.
That's what it was with this. Like this, that's the time of the night it is at the spades table. Like that's where they at with the monopoly, right?
Because really, it's on the like. Okay, there's the small window of feeling good when you're like at that level, and then now you're past the feeling good where you're already in hangover zone. Where you can already feel it in your head, where you know the headache is coming. You know, like you're past, peak. I'm feeling good. Now you're getting in the hangover zone, and that's when the angry
and that better judgment then stopped. Like that little voice, the better judgment voice, that's gone.
It's gone.
All you hear is the alcohol now.
Hey, Trey Rags. I don't know who follows Trey Rags on Instagram. He just made a video about like when you get your first gun and the gun just have the control and power be talking to you. But either way, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, my favorite thing about this entire episode isn't even a scene. It's a screen grab. It's a moment. 23 minutes, 47 seconds. After Tony does that, how about that? That look that Bobby gives Tony. If you just press pause, that look, that's when you knew.
You said what? Bobby is not what part?
23 minutes, 47 seconds. After Tony does it, how about that? How about that? And then they have at 23:47, there's a look that Bobby shoots over to Tony, and it's like, nigga, I promise on the head.
Yo, that look.
That first look was like, bro, I'll put hands on you. And you never seen Bobby like that.
Bobby look.
You never seen Bobby like that. That's the Bobby's like, hey man, keep playing with me if you want to. Like you like because we've all had the moment like Spike just described.
This is years of like,
hey, Spike just did a perfect job of describing it. That's that moment whereas if you Bobby, that's when it's like you telling yourself for the first time, like, oh, I might have to put hands on him.
Yeah.
I might have to put hands on him tonight.
Because you're like, bro, ain't no the boss right now. If we
ain't none of this shit funny to me.
This my house.
None of this shit funny to me.
Yeah, this the Martin shit.
Yeah,
and you joking. That's what make it worse. Cause you joking, you having a good time, and you mocking me, and I'm looking at you like, bro, I'll drop your shit right now, bro. Stop playing with me,
bro. At the heat of the ball, especially when you're losing. Like, bro, you're playing the game and you're losing, and then while you're losing, like, man, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you going through that whole gesture, and while you're like, man, this is bullshit. You're like, you know what? I'm about to start doing this. Since everybody, all these niggas want to start making up stuff, they be like, oh, I'm about to start doing this. You like, all right, bro.
Don't mock me like we kids. Like,
I need that face on a meme. That's a good point. I need that on a meme.
That's
a t-shirt or something. I just sent that to the group chat. Like I need that.
That is so good.
I need that.
That might be a new profile pic.
Because we've all either given that look or we received that look. One of the two, and that look is universal. You know exactly. If I ever see that look on anybody's face, it's time to stop.
You know what time it is?
Most times, stop playing with me, bro. Hey, most times somebody make that look and you didn't see it. That's the thing about it. Like they'll make
Tony
that look
didn't see it. Tony didn't see it.
No, just like you see other things.
And it's just like what Bobby had with it is like I can't even articulate how much you got me fucked up.
Yeah,
like I can't even articulate it, nigga. I'm processing how much you got me fucked up,
bro. I'm lit. I'm sweating.
Yeah,
y'all playing around with me, like, bro. Parker Brothers took their time to play the rules. Y'all want to come in my house making up rules, like
I up here drinking, talking crazy, man. Fuck all y'all.
And I'm taking, and what the last point is, man, this is something I'm taking serious. So you playing, you laughing, you mocking me, bro. Stop fucking playing with me, bro.
Don't mock me. Mocking me.
Look, no, it ain't even just the initial look. It's the look And then his eyes go down, like sizing him up, like, "Hey, bro, like, what's up, man?"
He's like, hey, yo.
It's two phases to the look. It's one with he
Yes.
initially looking at him, then it's another way he looking him like up and down.
Bro.
If one of us was cool with Bobby and we just walked in at that point and said, "What's up, Bobby?" Like we was in the kitchen, it was just us. Bobby might have hit us with the, "Hey, man, I might have to fuck up Tony tonight. I might have to fuck him up."
Yeah.
Like, what you talking about? Like, all right.
Nigga, loud, you crazy? Nah, bro, I'm for real, bro.
No,
and that's when you.
That's when you immediately
like, oh, hold on, bro. Nah, I'm dead ass serious, bro. I swear on everything. This nigga say,
you hit your homeboy with the damn. What happened?
Bro, that's where you got that, like, bro. That's because look. Hey. And it's also like you're in, like, because you see after that, you know, he said, Janice, we talked about this, you know, the difference between bribery. He has this super drunk look on his face. There's this thing about when you're drunk, where you're floating in and out of focus, like you kind of just go with the flow, like, what does this nigga say? Whatever. But then there's a moment where it's like your drunkenness comes into laser focus, and then Bobby in that moment had a laser.
Facts. And Tony was perfect with fucking. That's the nigga. That's the nigga that get fucked up too. Just like how about that? Like, man, come on, bro.
That's why, that's why Chris was looking like he was later in the series, where he got lit again in front of all the guys, and Tony was looking at Tony, and Tony had the worst look of them all, smiling. Like, bro, it's always that one person that, like, Tony. I don't know how he knows this. Such a great button pusher. Like, even with Feach, like, just stepping on his joke. Like,
everybody, he can do it with everybody. He's done Melfi, Feach,
how does
Janice,
that make you feel?
Carmella, like, everybody.
He's a miserable prick.
They said this is day one. God.
Junior, his mom. Like, I can't think of one person he ain't do that.
He knows exactly where to go. Like, he literally had a dinner with them and walked out on the Harpo joint. Like, what? I want to see my nephew. I want to see my nephew. He's my, like, and then just walks out, like, and smiles after, like, you are crazy. This is a crazy person.
Oh, shit, man.
How about that? How about that? Hey, come on, stop fucking. Hey, Bobby.
Who you talking to, bro?
Bro, that is the funniest thing. It's like, nigga, it's just a game. Relax, bro. But, like,
what if I land on my property and I get $100? How about that? How about that? Like, come on, bro. Stop playing.
It's really, Tony don't care. Okay, like, it's like, do whatever you want to do.
Mad, bro. Right? You mad?
Yeah, you mad?
You big mad?
That's a class song. You mad? You mad?
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm happy. Leave me alone. Like, oh my gosh, man. Bro. I'm sorry. That when I watched it, I forgot about that part. I was like, oh my god, that is so.
That's what trade. Hey, but not, like I said, between that and Bobby's look, Price, that's gold. That's gold.
Yes,
we've all been there. The quiet person in the room that give you that look, like, hey man, that nigga's not playing no more. I don't know if you peep it. He's not playing anymore.
Because you'll see them explode. Like, they'll explode like out of nowhere. Like, nigga, I told you, stop. You're like, bro, where'd that come from? Nah, I didn't see. He was building up.
Yeah, it was building up.
I've seen that happen. One of my closest bros is like anti-confrontational. I've seen him explode on somebody. And, you know, normally when somebody like that, everybody be on their side. Because it's like, bro, they don't even get like that. What did you do? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But anyways, Mercedes comes back and picks up Nika, and you know,
just in the nick of time to cut the tension too.
Straight up,
like that was just in the nick of time. Great writing right there.
Yeah, we kind of hit refresh on the drunk. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they start to get into, like, you know, the story about you know, Johnny shooting Livia's hair because she wouldn't, you know, stop, you know, just yapping or whatever. And Tony don't want it because he has this idea of how he thinks Johnny is, you know, and we get a reality of who he was, you know, in this sense that, you know, both parents was messed up. And they actually put this in Many Saints of Newark, I believe. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, that was a cool little, you know,
callback, should I say? Excuse me.
Callback, yeah. All right, so but anyway, she tells that story, and then, you know, as they go further on, they're laughing about it and everything, and she lands on Boardwalk, and Tony says, "You used to blow guys under there," like just mad on. He says it's subtle, it's kind of left there, and it ain't picked up quite yet. Like the look on Tony's face is like, you make us look like a dysfunctional family, and then he gets to that point, and he just says it's so subtle, and, you know, I think Bobby looked at him like, all right, nigga. Like, all right, man. Like,
strike two.
Yeah, like,
That's my wife, bro.
Boardwalk, I own it. You blue guys under it. Hey, that nigga.
Look like he was drinking.
He didn't even swallow. Pause. He didn't even swallow his drink because he just stopped. Like he couldn't believe it. Like, hold on, bro.
Like, whoa.
Because there gets to a moment, especially if you somebody like Bobby that just kind of laid back demeanor, where it's like, hold on, I really got to bring it out now because you can't.
He was like,
yeah, bro.
Bobby
like you
gave
already
him a look again. He
gave him a look again, bro. And what makes it worse is Tony smoking a cigar. Tony doesn't even notice it. He's unfazed about it. Like, you don't even know that because Tony, that's his sister.
Yeah.
He don't even look at her as Bobby's wife. He looks at it as that's my sister. So I got the right.
And there is this level of arrogance and audacity that Tony has. It's like I don't even respect you to be looking at you like you would make a move to go against me or stole.
Straight up.
I don't even look at you like that. You ain't never killed you ain't never killed nobody or no shit like that. Like Tony, that's how Tony you a second thought, nigga. So yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, what's on your mind?
We all had that look too. And where you take the drink down, you're like, what? Like it's in the same vein of the other one, like you were saying, Rich, when he take the drink down into the look.
Because he let it all ride. He's been letting that ride for a while, like the Brodies, like control your wife and all that stuff. You know, he been letting stuff ride, you know, the Harpo thing. And, you know, finally, like, he's like, hey, bro, like, I've been letting it ride for a minute, but like this my wife for because Bobby's like a real lover of like, you know, things and
you got to understand their dynamic. When I say they, I'm talking about Tony and Janet. So we go back to what you just talked about with the parents. Tony being so upset that she's telling this story. Now keep in mind, she's telling this story to family, their spouses.
Yeah,
it's not like there's outsiders in the room, but since they didn't grow up in that household, didn't fully understand that environment. Tony doesn't want that image tainted about what their name is. That matters to him, even though, ironically, him and Janice have this relationship. So then you get to her picking up the car, second place, collect $10. Janice immediately is on some, go ahead, get your stupid joke out. You see she's not even taking it no way, but Bobby don't care. Once again, I didn't grow up like that. Like, you are my wife. They can say, I ain't gonna say nothing.
He's like German Shepherd.
German Shepherd shave asshole won first place, and then Bob. That's when Bobby said, "Oh, it's my wife you talking about?
My wife you talking about?"
Hey, a German Shepherd shaved asshole is crazy, bro.
And then Tony still think that shit funny. Like, you know, you married her. This is my home.
No more talking like that.
Yeah.
Like,
stay out of this.
But look like bro. Like, it's just funny because the reaction is they took their time with it. And shout out to Steve Sharippa because he's looking like he's going through it, like looking through his thought, like he's looking through his thoughts in the drunkenness.
Like, is this really?
He's
because there's a part of Bobby's such a good dude. I think there's part of him like, do you really think that little of me?
Yeah.
That you're gonna talk to me like this in my crib about my wife, regardless of what your relationship is with her. That's how you think about me, because that's how it is too. I cannot, you know what I'm saying? One of my closest homies, this doesn't happen, but I'm saying it could be any of my closest homies. I could not like that girl. But out of respect for them, I would never dog that girl, disrespect that girl, leave that girl hanging. None of that shit. Just out of respect. And Bobby probably looking like, damn, bro, like, no more talk like that. This is your one warning. I'm telling you this once.
And I don't care.
Hey, let me ask y'all. Y'all got sisters. Because this is if y'all were fucking with y'all sister and her husband jumped in and was like, hey, man, you need to relax. This is my wife. Like, would y'all respect that?
I would, you know what? I feel the same way Tony did, for real. I feel the same way Tony did.
It depends on the degree in which the joke was. It depends on the degree, like.
And that's why this scene is so great, because I understand both sides of it.
It depends on the degree, but like, if I don't know what our level of joke is that would be like, would make somebody else uncomfortable, but like, it just depend on the degree. Like, hey, like, if it was something like this is our internal joke, and it's like, hey man, nigga, relax, bro. Like, relax.
But that's the interesting thing about it, though, Mo. Like, now it ain't just about you and your sister. It's like you have to respect this man's wishes. Like, that's your sister. It's cool, and y'all might joke like this, and she might be cool with it, nigga. But I'm not. Like, that's.
And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna hit you with the SMD the fuck out my face. Because think about it though, because all right, and that's why this whole
that's
thing
his girl, Rich.
I know, and that's what's fucked up. Because he has every right to say that, and I got every right to respect it. Because it ain't about me. Shout out to another week in the books. It ain't always about me. But there is something about somebody coming up to you, and it's not like they're 16 and 14, right? Yeah. They're in their 40s. Tony just turned 47 with me. Janice is 48, 49, right? been doing this forever. Who the fuck are you to tell me how to talk to my sister? We've been doing this since 68. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel a way now that you got enough in you to come talk to her. Don't talk to me. You know what I mean? Tell her you don't like the way we joke around. Have that conversation first, because we're going to keep these jokes going. But at the same time, I cannot say that. Like, it's fucked up because I'm in the wrong. That's your wife, bro. You're right. I'm going to chill. But that's my sister, too. Like, so fuck you and fuck her.
My sister for was your wife.
Yeah, one of them type conversations.
She tells him stay out of this. Like, and he's
he told her, but because it's not about because Bobby. That's like, bro, you disrespecting me. Fuck Janice. I don't care if she's cool with this or not.
Yeah, even like I was gonna say, even as a man, she can tell you to stay out of it. Tell him to stay out, but it ain't really now. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It got everything to do with me and him.
We
now.
out of
it's like Sonny and Carlo. Godfather Part 1. Like the rule back then was if that's your wife, you stay out of it. If this nigga putting his hands on your sister, that's not your sister. That's his wife.
That's his wife. Yep.
That's they
until
domestic
you married.
dispute.
I can say something about this until you married.
We heard Richie say that
now
to Chris.
You married.
Yeah. Right. We heard Richie say that to Chris. Right. But Godfather, you got Sonny going over there to beat him up, all that type of shit. Put him out on the street. Was whooping him in front of the neighborhood, bro. For putting his hand on his sister, and technically speaking, Sonny violated. That's not your place. Yeah, you in the wrong, bro. Like, you have no right. That's my wife. Give a fuck if that's your little sister or not. So it's an interesting conversation. But I know I would have reacted the same way Tony did. Like, man, get the fuck out of my face, bro. That's my sister.
Yeah, I get it. It is.
I was just gonna say a quick tangent. My dad told me one time he got 2 sisters, and he said a nigga hit his sister, and he went and beat the nigga up, and his mom let his sister and the boyfriend in the house and called the police on him after he came to save his sister, her daughter, and the sister's still in love with the dude, and that's her. Oh, leave him alone, stop.
That's how. That's why you gotta just stay out of it.
That's what he said. I never again got into the affairs. Like I never again got into it.
Yeah, it can go that way. I put something
because once they make up, then you the bad guy.
Exactly. I put something in the chat that picture that's. So that's Tony's reaction. When you look at his face, bro, like all of the thoughts in the world is about to like this face from Tony is like, oh yeah, all right.
I'm gonna go even harder.
You know
you
what?
Think that was bad.
You're right. Okay. He gonna go. You're right. I should like. He's diabolical.
And again, I think there's 2 things that happening here too, as well as this. How she was with the daughter, how she was with the nanny. Janice is calm. She's changed too, like she said that Tony had. Like she's changed. Tony is noticing that in her. He's jealous of this. We came from a dysfunctional family. You're telling stories about our dysfunctional family. Now I'm looking at you. I'm looking at y'all in this lake house. It's been back and forth all weekend about how y'all not bragging, but they just, Bobby and Janice are in a really good place. Yeah, but Bobby and Janice are in a really good place. And Tony looking at this like, it need to be some dysfunction here, bro. Like some shit need to get fucked up. Like this is where we come from. Yep.
He started patronizing them too.
Tony found a way.
Tony, you know what? He's right. I'm on like just knowing you about to say something else. Like Spike said, man, I ain't bet I got something for you. You don't like that one? You really ain't gonna like what I'm about to say next. Because you know what? I don't think you're gonna do shit about it. That's what Tony's thinking the whole time. And if you do try to do something about it, I'm gonna whoop your ass. That's what Tony's thinking.
I know you, nigga. You ain't finna do shit. That's how Tony looking at it. I know you.
Tony's wild. He's like, you know what? You're right. He's right, Janice. Because like they don't take nothing serious. Because that's, and it
turn that shit, nigga, turn that shit into a song, nigga.
Yeah, he turned it to a beef record. He turned it to Under the Border with his slong in James' mouth.
Nigga, Bobby said, nah, nigga, I told you, bro. I told you. Don't act like I ain't tell you when I told you.
Hey, listen, I'll send the picture. It's like this nigga face. Like this man went Incredible Hulk. Like how mad this man got, bro. Cause he's like, bro, I guess I don't know. I've never been in I don't think I've been in drunk fighting before. But I've been in some altercations where I guess I could see that coming there. But it's like, you really gotta get turned up. It ain't even like I'm gonna knock you out your chair. Like, hey, stop playing. Like he went all the way there. Like, oh yeah, like I
gave you your warning. I told you. Like there should be no surprise. That's why I always tell people. Somebody threatened me, I believe him. It was such much.
That I agree with you, Rich, but it was
somebody threatened me. I believe him. I believe him. Like he said, he was gonna harm me when he saw me. That's why I stole on that nigga when I seen him.
The place that Bobby was wrong in this, in his, like, he's right for defending his wife and everything. The way Carmelo felt was so funny, but you got to do it West Coast style. You got to tell Tony, man, we got to go outside. We catch his fade. Yeah, we got going outside, catch his fade, bro. We can play. Exactly. Yeah, we can finish Monopoly or whatever. We can still be cool, but me and you finna go catch his fade real quick. Like that. That's how this finna happen.
Yeah,
he get that shoulder tap. Come on.
Yeah,
what's
like,
not? Come on,
outside,
I told you, bro.
We're going outside. It ain't even I'm sorry or nothing no more.
It's one of those it's one of those, if you don't get up, I'm punching you right where you stand. I'm trying to give you a fair shot. I'm trying to give you a fair shot.
Exactly.
But there's going to be physicality. When they talk about furniture moving, this is exactly what they mean. That shit going down, whether you like it or not. I told you, bro. So you're either going to get up and fight one-on-one, or I'm about to punch shit out of you right now.
I'm finna hit you right now, and then you finna have to retaliate. One or the other.
Way.
Like, we can do it either way you want to.
Either way.
Yeah. and then pretty much, they start getting to it, and
what the fuck did Carmelo think she was about to accomplish?
Well, this is where the embarrassingness is from Tony, where I think why he acts the way he does later. Wow. And you gotta give it up to Tony too, because he's scrapping with Bobby, which Bobby he makes some good points later in the episode about Bobby being younger and him actually coming from a gunshot wound,
through surgery and shit
and all that. But like, Tony really that dude though, because he still was holding his own. But Bobby had that, like, hey, listen, if y'all want to know how Will Smith got to the point of slapping Chris Rock, just watch this Monopoly game. That's pretty much how he got there. All that Bobby felt, pretty much that's how we got to the Will Smith slap. And man, how well this was acted so well, because it looked so real. It looked so,
James Gandolfini got headbutt for real. He didn't break his nose, but he had a bloody nose. They left it. The actual headbutt that happened in real life. So it was choreographed, but he ain't moving time to miss it. So he actually got headbutt. And I just want to tell everybody, we're here for Tony's 47th birthday. Tony might feel that until he's 57. That's the last. As someone who has a birthday coming up, the last thing I've said this since I was probably in my mid-20s. The last thing I ever want to do is fight somebody. Like if I'm ever in a position where I gotta fight somebody, something went horribly wrong. Like, that's the last thing I ever want to do. Not only just because I don't got no business or time for it, but also because of the after effects. I twisted my ankle once and it took like 6 months to recover. Fighting, tussling, nigga, what?
For more than a minute too? Like, come on, bro.
You don't even remember what spots you got. You don't remember what spots you landed on and got hit at. You like, I didn't even know I got hit there.
Everything hurts. Everything hurts.
Yeah, bro,
and that's the crazy thing about fighting, the adrenaline of it. Like, you don't feel that shit when you're going through it.
Yeah.
Like, them little punches and shit don't really feel like nothing until the next day.
Yeah. You're like, dang, what did this dude do? But we see Bobby tries to go out. I mean, this is definitely drunk behavior. I don't know what he thought he was about to do.
It's definitely drunk behavior.
It's drunk behavior, though. Like, I've definitely felt like there's a version of this that we've seen. And he gets in the car and tries to reverse, didn't even look back, and runs right into a tree and gets out of the car, of course. Carmelo's checking on Tony or whatever. He, got the blood all on the beater and everything. Then we see the house that falls off his face, and there's blood on the house. I think there's some symbolism there. I think blood on the house represents, like, what's in the house, family. What does blood represent? Pain, death. So I feel like it's just death in the family. I feel like it's a foreshadowing there. Yeah. So that was just a little. I know that it means something. I may not be on par with it, but it means something. Then Janet's pretty much.
Where was Bobby going though?
That realization that I just fucked up the boss and my brother-in-law just hit. So he was just trying to flee the scene.
I just got to get out of here.
Let it all cool.
Drunk,
drunk
like Mo said, drunk.
Drunk logic, like it's like, okay, if I just get out of there, he'll cool off. We'll come back in the morning and talk about it. Like,
tough spot to be in, man.
Trust me when I tell you, I have made many drives that I shouldn't have drunk. So I mean,
allegedly, we want them.
Allegedly.
Statute limitations.
I don't know. We don't want them building RICO. They've been building this RICO case for 2 years while this podcast been going on, man. We're listening to every story for 2 years, Mo.
We just pod. Mo's just pod.
Hey, hey, Santa Claus could have been driving drunk. That's good. I like how y'all did that. Yeah, we breaking the fourth wall there.
I think this is great though. One of the brilliant parts about this is the how Janice understands
mhm.
the relevance of this. Like how fucking like this is a big deal. Like Bobby trying to talk, like shut up. Like you don't even know how big of a deal this is. Like I love like how worried Janice was about this.
Yeah, but it
And
does
she
piss
know
me
her
off.
brother and she know the game.
But it does piss me off. It's like she always in all of the men's ear about like being a man, getting their rightful place, step up, handle your business, and then when it happens, then she's griping at him for doing it. I
But I
get she
think
know the game, but it's
where
just
I push back.
okay.
My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
No, I know she know the game and she know okay, you could do it in different ways. I just don't like the fact that like you so unfamiliar with love for real. You're so unfamiliar with men actually having your back. You're so used to having their slong in your mouth that you have no idea what it's like to actually have somebody like step up and like fight, even go your brother just to step up for you. You still like issue, which is just speaks to this era of Sopranos of a darker, deeper, dramatic theme that we're getting into the end of it. So I just that thing really pissed me off about Janice. It's like, bro, are you kidding me? You getting on
What
him
I
for yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say what I appreciate about it is the consistency though. Like you said
Yeah,
something right there in your dialogue. Like Janice really don't know what love is for real.
yeah,
But what she does know is the game. And it's like she's been consistent.
yeah,
Like if it don't line up to the game, I'm not fucking with it. It's like when Avon told the ref, like that ain't how the game played. Like this is Janice's moment like that.
mm,
Telling Bobby, like, what are you doing, nigga?
What
You
I
know who he is?
what I
Like
tell
this
you
ain't
about
got shit
playing
to do with my brother.
what I
What I
tell you
tell you
about
about
playing them
playing them
fucking
away
away games.
games? Or even when like nigga, you think you Pat Riley, like what are you doing? Like this ain't how the game is played, bro. Like you know what we in, what we trying to get done, and you just jeopardize all that. He might kill you, and he got the right to. That's a made man. This is the boss of the family. So I
and you
appreciate
spanked him
her
for real.
consistency. Yeah, and you whooped him.
Like,
Not to mention you beat him up.
yeah, you really like spanked him for real.
Left
Like,
that man with fucking property on his face.
Man,
yeah,
she had to
man,
flick it.
blood stains on the
Flick that shit
beater.
off of him. Yeah, you all fucked up.
Hey, so I do respect Janice's role in it. Like Janice was like, she was thorough through and through. Like, nigga, you don't know. You need to understand the gravity of what you've done.
Yeah. Then Carmela, after bringing in the ice for Tony, she goes and sleeps on the twin bed. And listen to me, this level of drunk where you're sleeping on a mattress with no satin sheet,
Face down, no sheets.
that's real. That's real,
That's I just need somewhere to lay down, bro.
bruh. That's real.
I don't
And
need
then you're
no
like,
cover,
oh
no
man, this is
pillow. I just need to
cold.
lay
It's like, oh,
down.
it's kind of cold too. Hey, I don't even care,
Hmm.
bro. I don't care
I
what
need to
happened
lay
before this
down, my
moment.
nigga.
Yeah. They're like people when they find their face, when they find their head on the toilet. They don't care who been on it before.
Or just lay down in the kitchen bathroom. I mean, in
All that,
the
yeah. Like
bathroom.
you all up on the floor, like you just like, hey, look, I got a cool place to lay. Like, hey, they nailed it. Like they wrote this really well.
Mhm.
So, so 4:04 in the morning, Tony, super weird, ends up walking in and talking to Janice and say, hey, you beat me fair and square. Now, I believe Tony is still drunk at this moment because I think, when you're drunk, that's the only time you can get these characters to be honest, is when they're drunk. They're
Yeah,
lying.
you can tell how he woke up.
Yeah. And it was super random because they look scared for their life, which is the funniest thing, bro.
As they should.
Yeah, you just gave this
Like
nigga
Spike just
AR.
said, like you are grounds for getting smoked. Brother-in-law, no brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Also,
and you busting the room at 4:00 after I just whooped your ass. What I gotta think that there's only one thing coming from this.
First of all, my door would have been locked. Like, ain't nothing door
Yeah.
locked. You ain't coming in here, bro.
Yeah. And then also, I think the 404, I think, obviously 404, we've seen it before. It could represent error. Like an error was made. We've seen that like on web pages where you see 404 error. Tony woke up at 404. So what Bobby did was an error. which obviously ultimately changes everything about it. Like you probably still would have kept the cherry intact, you know what I mean? But now it, because of that, we'll get to what we're gonna get to. But yeah, they laying up and they just throwing
And
off. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I just like the subtle moment where I know it comes right after that, but after he busts in the room, but that next morning, like he's still in bed, moving slow, blood still all over the shirt. Bobby up here moving shit around, dumping trash. Like, bruh, I'm up and at him, my nigga. I whooped your ass and I'm already up. I ain't even just that moment, man. That end at the end, mortality. Tony, you ain't who you thought you ain't. That young guy no more.
Yeah,
this nigga Tony had to take 2 aspirin before he even get moving.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is one of the worst places in the world to be waking up like this.
Oh man,
You don't really vaguely remember what happened. You sold like you got the same shit on. Like, boy, I hate those.
man,
You hate them mornings, nigga.
yeah.
God damn, what
And then
happened,
you
bro?
can't even
Then
think
it
about what happened
slowly
because your head
starts.
is
You're
like,
pounding, and it slowly starts to come back. The
mm-hmm.
more you up and sitting there and
Yeah.
drink your coffee or water, like it's like,
showering,
oh shit, it did happen.
and then like you're hoping it wasn't as bad as you remember it, which
Thanks.
is what
Then a
Tony.
nigga call you and it's worse. Like, man, you know what you did last night?
Oh
Mm-hmm.
man.
Oh man, them be the worst calls, bro. I'm like,
Man,
what?
I'm so blessed to be older.
Hey,
Like,
you be acting like, damn, you don't want to hear none of that
I'm
shit.
blessed.
you
We
listen
blessed
to
to
the
be in an
story
era where people weren't pulling out their phones to record that
Oh
dumb
my
shit we did
God,
last
bro.
night.
Man,
We
nigga.
just missed that wave.
just, bro. Whew, like,
My homie texted me and said that when some news broke, that he's like, bro, I'm so glad that they didn't have cell phones when we was coming up, man, because
Man,
ain't
it'd
no
been
telling
over.
where a nigga would be at right now.
It'd been over. They wouldn't be doing this shit. They wouldn't be doing none of
Nah,
this.
nah,
Nobody.
y'all wouldn't have been blessed with no Good Earnest podcast if there were cell phones when I was outside, nigga.
There would have
Shit.
been there would have been a million this
Yeah, yeah,
a million of
facts.
them.
that's crazy.
Facts.
This you is that's oh man, that's good. But yeah, so like, that whole thing, they're getting up and pretty much you got to get the medication going. They pretty much walk out there and about to get decided that, hey, maybe we should go ahead and roll. But it's this morning, it's such an interesting thing because Janice says that, that's what family does. It's so normal, second nature to her. Like she's not even like, I don't know how much of it is a ploy and play. Like I'm trying to save Bobby's life more so than it is, literally I'm so used to this. Like I've seen mom and dad do crazy stuff all the time, bro. This is just how things work in our family. It always has, because she really was for real, like whatever.
I think it's 20 to 25%. Like this is just a normal day. And I think 70, 75 because it's one of those, it's like negotiating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you talk about sports teams and they talk about negotiating with them for free agency. Once you get them in the building, you don't let them leave the building.
Facts.
You do you're staying here until this contract is done. This is Janet's way of saying, until I know that my husband doesn't have to look over his shoulder, that we good, that that this isn't going to go further than this cabin. Until I know that, you're not going anywhere. The last thing I want you to do is be out of my sight and let you stew on this and plot about how you're going to get your revenge on us. Like, that was Janice 100%.
You got to go flat your tires or something.
Yeah,
like,
you're not leaving,
would have
bro.
had to happen. Like you're not pulling out of here.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Not like this
at all. Not like y'all can leave, but not until we resolve all this. And not no Bishop and Juice, Bishop and Q fake hug either. Not the real shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And it also shows the other side of it, like how it also shows how trippy you can be. You can take that road when your husband the one that had whooped your brother ass.
Exactly.
It's a lot more humble approach if Bobby got his ass whooped, right?
Oh,
Tony
man.
probably wouldn't be trying to leave. Tony would probably walk in your trap and take over your trap, nigga. What's for breakfast, nigga? What you make? Nigga, pour that orange juice, Bobby.
I got about $250.
You know what I mean?
That's the question. That's the question I have for you, brothers. How are y'all playing this situation? And from both perspectives, Tony and Bobby.
If I'm Bobby, I gotta hit him with the apology. I have to.
As soon as you wake up, let's
Let's
take a walk. Let's take a walk.
Let's take a walk. It's weird because you owe it to everybody because everybody was there. So you gotta almost apologize twice.
And if you
It's
Tony,
such a hard
And if
play.
you Tony,
my bad.
man,
Go ahead. Let Mo go for that one.
No,
though.
it's just.
Yeah,
I
go
mean,
ahead.
you're right. Like probably what you're saying is just so hard with a person that doesn't reason properly, and you're starting to see him reason less and less. Like literally, Tony did not show up when Bobby got shot in the eye. You know what I mean? So it's like it's like, dang, you know, it's a lot. But go ahead. What was you gonna say about if y'all Tony? Like because
Now, what would you say? What'd you say if you him? If you
I'm with
Bobby?
pretty much what Rick said. Like,
What Rick
okay,
said? Okay,
I'm
gotcha.
gonna have to apologize to everybody. And, hey, listen, Tone. Like, if there's anything I could do to make it up, you know, whatever I got to do. You know, if you need an extra envelope this week,
I think it's better than me.
yeah.
I'm acting like ain't shit happening.
if you Bobby,
He too bruised up to get that. He too bruised up.
Hey, he pulling the
drunk night.
He pulling the Melvin and Baby Boy. He gonna act like he gonna act like he ain't at the kitchen stove naked cooking breakfast. Like, you want something to drink? You want some breakfast? Like, nigga, don't sit here and talk to me like you don't know what the fuck is going on. Hey, that shit's silly.
I think I'm leaning into, man. Hey, man, shit happened, man. Like, you know, we got drunk. Like, it is what it is.
Like Joe Budden telling that story, man. So what? So what?
Yeah. So what? Like Hove told Joe. So
yeah,
what, man. Like,
so,
we fought. We grown.
We don't. Yeah, don't nobody know. I ain't never gonna tell nobody about this. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's between us. That would have been my main thing. More so even than an apology. My main thing would have been like, it's what happens here stays here. You ain't got to worry about me going to run my mouth about it.
Lips is a statue, nigga.
Yeah. Now, what if you Tony? You just got whooped.
Well, let's go
in front of your wife and your sister.
Let's tie that.
And you the boss.
Okay, so let's tie that in. So Tony is sitting on the chair looking at the water, reflecting on things, and Janice, you know, has this moment of talking about, I know him, you know, I know what that is when he's sitting in the chair. I know what that is, you know, kind of like, and Bobby's not understanding. Then, you know, Carmela pulls up on him, and, you know, he's having a moment, and he pretty much says, like, I know what you're thinking. You know, he's like, I seen how you looked at me that night when I whooped that dude back in the day and stuff like that when you didn't know me. So he knows, and I think he probably on par with this in some regard. Like, I don't think Carmela cares as much as he thinks, but I definitely think she cares more than she's
It's not about, what you're saying is 100% right, Mo, and it's also 100% about Tony, not Carmela. It's the fact that I know I got whooped in front of you, and now I gotta envision. Now I think that you look at me a certain way. Like, I'm not that nigga.
She jumped in, bro. Your girl jumped in, like
your girl jumped in and got knocked down, and she hurt. Like the shoulder hurt from it. Like, oof.
Like, you know how bad you gotta be getting spanked when you start replaying events at night. Your girl jumped in, like, stop it, leave him alone, stop it, leave him alone. Like, bruh. Like, when your girl start hitting you with the get up, Craig, like, you are getting bodied. And so her jumping in like that is just, it's crazy work. It really is. It's, you know, so thinking about it, like, dang, once I play that, so if I'm Tony, I'm doing the same thing. Like, I'm doing all of that. Like, hey, I gotta get ahead of this thing. If I'm Tony, like, it ain't no, I'm gonna let it brew and let it marinate, let you think what you think. No, I just gotta get ahead of this. You know what I mean? Like,
I might whisper and talk, like, you know, that famous meme from Planet of the Apes. He whispering that nigga. Yeah, I might. Hey, man, watch your back, nigga. I might be fucking with Bobby for a little minute of it. I might have to try to have Bobby shook. And nigga, everywhere you turn,
I'm definitely doing that.
Yeah, you gonna see
y'all fucking with him like that.
I might have to.
No,
Come on,
you're not getting this off.
I just got my ass whipped, bro. I gotta get something out of this.
Because again, this is his. As much as we don't like it, and again, you know, that's his wife. This is my sister much long ago, and the disrespect of the joke is there. But if they joke like this all the time, like, you just got here, you just were able to be exposed to how we always joke with each other. So even at the very last episode, they still joking, you know, on this degree. So, you know, that's the only reason I say, if I'm Tony, like, I'm definitely, you know, like, yeah, where Tony takes it at the end is like, yeah, that's about where you want to take it. And there's more that Tony does than just that part, but we'll get there.
I'm definitely salty. Just to have for my answer of it. Yeah. I'm definitely salty if I'm Tony. However, and it's just this be having Bobby bias, because that's my guy. I do look at Bobby as the type of guy where this ain't gonna go no further than this. I don't gotta put no sauce on it. It was a fight. You snuck me, I believe. I'm gonna let you know I think you snuck me, and it really wasn't a fair fight. That's why you got the best of me. and I can leave it at that. But that's me knowing how much of a stand-up guy Bobby is.
But what about
That's why.
Janice?
What about who?
Is she gonna say something?
Oh, I'm gonna put the squeeze on her. She the one gonna feel the effects from this more than Bobby. If I'm Tony, that's my play. Oh, your husband with my ass. Oh, like ain't no free houses, ain't no free landscaping, ain't no free rack of lambs, nigga. Like Cameron, nigga, no more soy sauce, no more fried rice, nigga, none of that. Nigga, it's over. Tell your husband to take care of it.
Yeah,
don't come to me asking for anything. Anything.
Yeah, it's over.
You're never getting that. That's the petty. That's the long road petty. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna let Bobby have it.
Yeah, I'm running it.
That's how petty Spike Lee gonna be. Like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that angle.
No more fried rice, no more soy sauce, nigga, no more spare ribs, nigga, none of that.
Yeah, none of that.
Get nothing.
Nah.
Hey man, let me hold 10 G's to get this nigga, man.
But
paying for your paper basketball games now?
Niggas was balling, nigga.
Man. But Chris calls and says, "Happy belated birthday."
Yo.
It's one of the best scenes in the episode.
Yeah,
facts.
Oh, it's good.
You don't care enough to
if we locked in. Mo, you about to say what I'm about to say. Go ahead.
You don't care enough to call me on my actual birthday. You know my birthday. You've seen my birthday year after year, and all of a sudden, because you're getting high. That's what I believe we're led to believe. Like they're getting high. Like he's getting high still, and you know.
Everything about it, just the timing, because after the fight, and Chris don't know nothing about the fight, but just the fact that he always manages to call at the wrong time. The fact that we supposed to be locked in, and if we locked in, if I call you family and I'm hearing happy belated anything, nigga, hanging up like Tony did too. The fuck you mean happy belated? You don't think enough of me to you missing when I get home. I don't know when the last time I talked to you. And the first thing you say, and you say it like it's normal. You don't got no kind of like conviction on your voice about, oh man, my bad, I've been missing. Like, nah, hey man, just want to let you know happy. Like I should be happy that you calling me. Happy belated, man. Click, nigga, get the fuck off my line, bro.
Yeah, I like it.
I love how he didn't even acknowledge him. As soon as he heard it was Chris and heard happy belated, nigga hung up.
Oh, shit, that's good, man. That was good. And it speaks to what Mo said earlier. Like, I don't want to say this without spoiling. First watch, the things that happen in the future is like, damn, that's surprising.
Yeah.
But now watching it again for however many umpteenth time, but having the conversations about it, like with you two brothers, it's a lot more obvious.
Yeah.
Why what happens. You're like, oh, this been brewing since season fucking 4. Like this has been steadily like just going more and more to where Tony's disdain is like, okay, fuck it.
Yeah. Because like literally, nigga, you almost got me out of here. Like you almost cost me my life again. You know what I mean?
Playing.
Like you did that at the Bing, and then we got this scene later. Like so, it's like, all right, bro, that's it. You done. But then we see the nanny Mercedes sings about ducks, which we know what ducks are tied back to the pilot rather. So it's always a central theme with the Sopranos. I just got me like a hat with a duck on it too, just because I was just in that space. I was like, yeah, look at this joint. They're eating lunch, and Tony says he could have worked Bobby a year ago. Then he says, well, you sucker punched me. And Bobby is like, make up your mind. Like,
I respect Bobby standing on business.
Yeah. You came in my room at 4 in the morning talking about something. You beat me fair and square. So which one is it? Is it Uchi Wally Wally or is it one mic?
One mic, nigga.
Yep. It's like, did I sucker punch you, or is it because of your health that you lost? Like, pick a struggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pick a side and stay there.
Yeah, and them little small beer cans is they
hilarious.
They are hilarious. I mean, I definitely drink one, but like still, it's just these cute little cans. Like, but anyway, so Tony and Bobby they got to roll out, and Carm and Janice are dealing with the kids. Now here's Tony's petty kicking in. Like we're right in the petty, and shout out to the makeup team because they really look like he bruised up for real, bro. Like they really
like he got his ass kicked.
Yeah, he really like that. I don't know how they do amazing work with the makeup because it looked legit like he is going through it. So Tony's driving and they're going to do this business meeting, and they got Tony says, "Hey, I could turn the air on," so he got him burning up in there. Just that's heating up things, like being petty. Then Tony notices there's a detour route. So he takes this little detour route, which reminds us obviously of, Adriana long-term parking, like that whole like subtlety, like, hey, you know what? We ain't gonna make it to the meet. I'm about to whack you right here. You know, so a little subtlety there. I'm trying to tie these all together. Janice then, gets on the nanny about, or, well, really Nika for being in the water and everything.
Which Nika?
Janice is Nika.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not the nanny Nika.
Not the nanny. Okay.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember watching this and thinking in real time when you watch it that Bobby may be in danger? Did that ever cross your mind?
I think I did the first time. I definitely
Slightly. I didn't expect anything to happen, but it was. I think at that point, Sopranos, you knew anything's possible.
Well, I tell you what, I feel like my second watch, I think I seen more of Tony's gears twisting a little bit more because of the Remember When episode. I think looking back after seeing Remember When and then watching the series again and watching that, I say, oh, this is where Tony's like, there's a little bit of a bloodthirstiness. I feel like it's there a little bit. And definitely. So yeah, I definitely first time around thought Bobby was in danger. But Carm, yeah, she is. This is some top tier Carm look right here. I think this is definitely a great fit. Yeah, great fit. Well, I kept it PG.
I ain't said that. You talking about when she's talking to Janice out here by the lake?
Yeah.
Carmen, she had been working out.
Did her thing. Carmen did her thing.
She been working out.
Yeah, that's why I said she really represents for the mob wives. Like, it's unfortunate these guys are just like such douchebag and cheaters, because she in this world she's like top tier. You know what I mean? Like she really got it together. As far as taking care of the house. Being in great shape, know how to get fly, know how to plan events. She got it going on, but of course, these guys are just, that's what they do. They're miserable pricks. Telling the nanny to put her to bed now, it's like 3 PM. It's crazy.
Yes.
On brand for Janice.
Yeah.
Maybe a nap or something. And
then Janice talks about Richie in like a subtle way, and Carmela reads through it, but they are both lying to each other. And this season, just you really see how horrible these people are. Like they really showing you, like, finally wrapping up, like, these people just terrible. Like, not to say that we all got flaws, but they really show you, like, none of these people are, like, decent. And you will never see this when you look at like season 1 or 2 of Sopranos. But now we're at 6B, it's like so clear, like, okay, all of y'all full of it. Did y'all want to add anything to this conversation Janice and her were having?
Nah.
Okay. Tony and Bobby meet with what is it? Are those guys French or Canadian? Okay.
French. Yeah, Canadian.
It might be French Canadian, maybe.
French
Canadian. Yeah, funny. But they're trying to get this pill racket going for them, and while they're doing this deal, the guy's sister is having custody problems with the drummer father, and Tony wants them to knock off 35 grand off the price, and they will. And if they do that, they will whack the father. And Tony casually says to Bobby, "You'll take care of this, right?"
Right after they talk about Tony's not vindictive, here's an example of Tony being vindictive. It's just not the mob way, air quotes, that you would expect. You know exactly what he's doing. Oh, this your work now. And he knows you're in no position to tell me no about anything right now.
Yeah. I can ask
no
you
matter what
anything.
I ask you to do. Yeah. I could damn near ask you to whack Janice.
Facts. And you'd have to consider.
Yep. Yeah. You'd have to really think about it. That's the position you in right now, because you wanted to whoop on the boss.
Yeah, you're right. And man, what a convenient thing to settle a deal. And even they bring it up, knew what's up.
And just being the head of a family of men, like gangsters, knowing that you got whooped by Bobby is crazy. Like going back to Jersey, like that's probably some of the most anxious times of Tony's life. Like going back to Jersey, knowing that this happened, and I got to talk to Seal. Yeah, I got to talk to Seal, Paulie. I got to really act like this shit didn't happen. Oof.
That's one of the things that I as much as I love this episode, So one thing is missing. What story did Tony come up with as to why he's lumped up?
I look like that.
Yep. Yeah.
Don't look like that. R.I.P. Rich
Oh,
Homie, man.
Damn. As soon as you said it, that's exactly what I was thinking, man. Rex. Anyway. But yeah. So he pretty much, Tony just lays it out because it's like I'm almost on some like, you think you better than me? All right. Watch this. You know what I mean? Because then you think about it, it's like, bro, this Bobby that whooped me, he ain't even popped his cherry, bro. He ain't even whacked nobody. So wait a minute. You mean tell me you're not even a murderer and you whooped me and you know how many people I've murdered? I've whacked. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's, you know, this is like Bobby's like Jody. Is this Jody? The same Jody? Like,
don't do Bobby like that.
Not literally, but like in the sense of Tony's mind, like why he always get not like that, but like the way Tony
Jody up there with McNulty for me.
Like of hating?
Yes, I hate Jody. He one of the worst. I mean,
I don't
ever.
care about him, but I don't hate him though.
He one of the worst niggas ever.
He is, but I don't hate him. He's just another nigga.
That's why I love Baby Boy so much. That shit is so ignorant.
Hey, you need to stop playing. Just gonna give it to us, man.
Nah, I can't,
stop,
man.
Stop
so
playing,
much,
man. Just gonna give it
so
to
much
us.
to say about that movie, man. I love that movie, man. That shit's so ignorant.
I think I might have to be on that episode because
feel free.
I'm finna dog.
The vitriol that I have for that movie is like, ugh.
Oh yeah, you need something like that. Yeah, that's. Yeah. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm like, But anyway, so they rolling back, and you know, Tony's, you know, waving at the, you know, the beach girl or whatever, like just Tony fashion. Because he's playing it off all cool, like, oh yeah, you know. They get back and okay, so they get back and Tony and Carm, they pretty much, you know, it's time for them to cut out. And, you know, Bobby got the serious face because he know what time it is. And I can't imagine.
They can't run it out the crib like they got back from war.
Yeah,
they were surprised them niggas made it back.
Well, there's that, but there's that, and then there's that feeling of like, okay, you know, you stay one too many nights somewhere. You know, he's like, bro, I can't wait to get to my bed. I can't wait to get to my comfort because I like you, but I don't like you this much. Like Janice and Carmela never really like had that type of relationship. They've been at it since season 2. You know what I mean? But it's like we tolerate each other because that's what family does. But they don't really care for each other like that. You know. But anyway, so Bobby, you know, Bobby has to get focused, and like this is like, it's commendable in a sense because you've never done this, and now you immediately. You got something to do, and it's like, this is literally like Kevin Hart, like, I got a lot of things on my mind right now. I can't talk. I got a lot of things on my mind. And like Bobby's like, bro, I got it a couple of days. He's like, what about this? Like, bro, I ain't got time for that. Like, stop nagging me. Because like, bro, I got to really do this. Or if I don't do this, I'm probably getting whacked. You know what I mean? Like, this is the only thing I can do to actually save my own life, low key.
Plot hole right here.
Huh?
Plot hole right here.
Okay.
Where'd they get another car from?
Let me see that car.
Bobby wrecked the car. Like leaving out of the Monopoly game. And now he going to drive that car.
He hit the back of the car. I mean, it could be dented.
I think the airbag deployed, if I'm not mistaken.
I was gonna say he fucked that car up.
But he got right out though. It wasn't. I didn't see no airbag.
But he still fucked the car up though. Like even when, like you can wait till you can let it keep playing and watch when he pulls back up after he does what he does. That's a brand new Jeep.
I mean, unless them two both got a car.
Why would both of them drive up at her?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like you going on a family. And it's a nitpick.
You know, I thought about that before.
I just really noticed it. I'm like, where the fuck they get another car from? So.
But yeah, so Bobby got to do that. He got a couple days to catch this, you know, French Canadian drummer. And, you know, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be Canada or where this location is. I didn't quite catch it.
I think he over the border.
Okay, he's over the border. He's washing clothes. You know, you hear the dryer. He's washing shoes, and it has the same kind of, they're giving us like the drum vibe because he's a drummer. You know, Bobby comes in, points the gun, shoots at the guy, gets up close. Dude snaps his shirt. The bullet goes through the washer, and Bobby shoots him again. Bro, this is a rough scene. This is a
Him
dark
snatching
season.
him getting close enough to snatch his shirt always bothers me. I understand why it's there. I'm not saying it's Bobby's fault. I get what they're trying to show, emphasize it's Bobby's first time, but it always bothers me that happens because this is a sloppy crime scene.
It is a sloppy crime scene.
But it is to say like that's my first crime, but he still know better. Once again, like Spike said, man, kind of nitpicky. It's just I hate seeing that because I'm like, man, come on, Bobby. Shoot this nigga and get up out of there.
Thanks.
Yeah, just a rough scene. Like every time I see it, it's just so rough. That's why I say I don't know how David Chase doesn't see how it gets darker. It is serious. I'm like, how don't you see this? Like, there's nothing positive. Even this episode is probably supposed to be the most positive out of these last few, and this ain't positive. So, but we get Tony at home, and he gets a call from his lawyer, and the feds are rolling the gun charge into the RICO. So that's where the reality sets in to what it is. He's also watching the Soprano home movie, and it brings him back to a simpler time. Obviously, because you know what's going to be going forward, so you can only kind of look back a little bit. Bobby returns, and this time he has on real shorts, as I was talking about before. Let me see. I'm trying to see. They didn't. I didn't see the back of the car. I was trying to see if they was gonna show it. Well, they ain't show it, but yeah, Bobby comes back, and
I wasn't even the same kind of car, bro. That was a whole nother car. The other car was blue. That one was beige, brown type. You go back and look at it again.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. That's crazy. But yeah, why do y'all think Bobby hugs his daughter like this?
She represents his innocence. His innocence is gone now. Not saying he's completely free, but he's just done something so horrendous. He's gonna have to process that, come to terms with it, come to grips with who he is as a man. Something he's never had to do 40 years in his life. It's not like he's 16. It's not like he Michael off the wire. And they sending him young to go catch a body, man. I honestly thought I got to the point where I might escape this whole life without doing this.
Yeah.
And now I have to really look for that self-love and try to really re-understand who I am. And I got somebody here, as in my daughter, who will always see me as the Bobby I was before. There's just genuine love here because of who I am. And he's just trying to hold on to that because it's going now for him.
No, that's facts.
Yeah. And to me, it's like you just killed a father.
Facts. I just killed it. That's a great point, Mo. I just took this away from someone else. All because I whooped Tony.
Because I beat on another father. Man, but yeah, just like I said, rob the innocence, like, just like losing your virginity. It's like, you're not the same after that. You'll never be the same after that, for sure. There's something different about you all the way through and through. So, man, what an episode, bro. What an episode. A lot of laughter. I ain't laughed this hard in a while on here. And man, what good laughter. So before we get out of here, of course, y'all definitely not trying to make this 3 hours. We got to leave with our rankings, man. Y'all, these last few that we're having here. So without further ado, Spike Lou, how do you rank this episode?
I went back and forth on this, really to all three tiers.
Back and forth?
Yeah, really to all three tiers, to be honest with you. Like,
okay, all right.
There's a viewing in this episode where you're like, well, I mean, nothing happened. Okay, whatever. Then there's a viewing in this episode. It's like, okay, the little subtle things you get. Then there's a viewing in this episode with the context of us knowing what's going to happen in the future. You're like, yeah. So with that being said, I have to say this is a made episode.
Okay, boy, I thought you was gonna let us down, boy. I was like, hey.
Nah.
I was about to have you on a Bobby mission in a minute. I was like, all right, I'm about to go and send them on out there and make it up because come on. But I feel you're right though. You're right. I can see where all three could fit. Rich.
That's very interesting. I love that Spike said that because there is a little bit of a slant to our rating system because we know the full story.
We have the privilege of knowing. Like I could see someone watching this for the first time and being like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. With that being said, I still think it's a made episode But there are moments when I look at certain things like this is made because I know what happens 2 episodes from now, or I know what happens next episode. So it is a made episode. I still think as a standalone, and what we're doing, we're talking about the show as a whole. Come on, like this is a top. Not only is it a made episode, it's probably in most people's top 10 episodes, if not higher.
This is top 10, absolutely. We're going trips here. It's made because again, even outside of what we know, it's a great standalone. I said this early before we ever got here. People talk about Pine Barrens. People talk about college. And talk about Marco Polo, talk about this. I said this is, to me, I said this is better than Pine Barrens, in my opinion. Like, people love Pine Barrens because it's like, oh, you want to get somebody introduced to the Sopranos, throw them right there just so they can get the vibe of what it is. To me, I prefer this because it's like, I mean, I guess if somebody watches, they wouldn't get you still gonna get the mafia part because of the Bobby part at the end. Like, if you don't get the Bobby part, you might think this is a different show. But the Bobby part is like, oh, okay, you got to remember from the beginning to the end, this is all tied into it. So to me, one-off show episodes, I hold this at number one.
And I was gonna say that's one of the reasons why it's hard to introduce someone on Pine Barrens, because this, bruh, like, if I'm trying to get you hit, the rest of the series ain't like this. I don't want you to think that this is what you're about to get yourself into. I think, to your point, Mo, this will be more of the layers that are in this episode are more consistent throughout the entire series versus what Pine Barren was. That was just a one-off. Let's have some fun and just let's let Chris and Paulie do their thing.
Yeah. They covered a lot of ground on here too. Like, we got a whole part where Tony gets arrested. He goes to court. Phil comes out. Like, we got a whole part before we get into this. So this covers a lot of ground in this episode. The flashback with Johnny Sack, all that. So
that's what I meant to mention earlier, real quick, Mo. As far as what you said, it made me remember. That's the episode that this episode reminds me of, is Pine Barrens. Like, you have these characters that are secluded from the real story. Nothing's really going on plot wise, but a lot matters in the sense of what's going on out here in Pine Barrens. So as I was watching this, and this is the first time I really thought about it, watching it this time around, like, this episode is very similar, in my opinion, to Pine Barrens.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if Steve Buscemi had anything to do with this.
Nah, but it's funny because what's his name? Van Patten.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the writing combo for this season, or one of the, it was chasing, I think it's Van Patten, I can't remember who it was. It was this. It was Heidi. What's the Heidi one? Heidi and Kennedy.
Yeah, Heidi and Kennedy.
And then Blue Comet. They wrote all three of these, and all three of those are bangers.
Trifectas. It's not too many misses in this part anyway.
Nah. Chasing it might be the only one that we really have an issue with. This might be the best episode since Members Only.
Yep, I was about to say the opener of season 6A. Yep.
Yeah. As much as I love Mr. and Mrs. John Sacramone Request, much as I love that just for different reasons, I think this might be the
best one since.
Yeah.
Okay. Who gets the good earner chain on this episode, Spike Lou?
This should be a sweep.
This is a sweep.
Shout out to my guy Bobby Bacala, man. This is Bobby all the way around.
It's Bobby.
Yeah, it's my guy Bobby.
Yeah. What about you, Rich?
Same. Gotta be Bobby.
Yeah, give it to Bob, man.
Even though there could be an argument that he's also
a loser.
A loser too.
Thanks.
But yeah.
But that does get him you get real respect from Tony after this, though. You could really be my number two. Like, because if you can take me on like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you set up, though. Like, it ain't just so you can take me on. Like, I'm looking, I'm peeping. When you go into a nigga space and you peep in that space, you're like, okay, this nigga got it going. I see you.
Yeah,
I see you. Like, there's a level of respect that rises for them.
It is. Yeah, you're right. Who gets a Broken Balls award from you, Spike?
The drummer. The dad drummer that got killed by Bobby, the French Canadian.
Harpo? No, I'm just playing.
Yeah. That guy to try to take the kids and run off him.
Yeah.
He didn't even know what he was getting popped now for, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, y'all, we know the theory about could that be Janice's son. We already know the theory. We didn't express that.
I did not know that. That's hilarious.
You never heard that before? We'll revisit that. Go look that up. Like people say that the irony that could be. I mean, some people say it can't be, but there's theories out there that say that could possibly be Janice's son.
That's funny.
Yeah. French Canadian, So what about you, Rich? Broken Balls.
Broken Balls. I don't know. Who's yours? Who's yours? Let me think about this. I got a thought, but I'm trying to see if
y'all. It's obviously Tony.
I didn't want to give it to Tony. I think that was obvious. But you're right. That's a good answer.
It's Tony, bro. Like you got spanked by Bobby, the one you told get off my car before you flip it over. Like this is this is Bobby, like Bobby. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but like the Rico case is continuing. Like even if we take the Bobby stuff out, like the Rico still continuing. Like you ain't free. You get home, like, okay, I'm gonna chill out, get low, heal up a little bit, watch these Soprano home films, and then turn around and still like, hey, I just gotta let you know now they rolling it into the Rico. Like, so it's a matter of time. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be a co-winner for me. It's gonna be actually Janice and Tony. It's gonna be the Soprano name, in my opinion, man. You think about that story, and how upset Tony got about, and that's a universal thing, right? Bro, don't put our family business out there. Don't put no smut up on our name. Shout out to Dot. But a lot of stuff that goes on to that. So all of this happened when you think about it and break it down to its common denominator. This happened because of the dysfunction between the Sopranos.
Yep.
The Sopranos go too far. If you guys had any kind of decent, loving, caring relationship, and it's not your fault. You were raised in an environment that didn't allow that or provide that to you. But because you never got the attention, and because even Tony, you're in a position of where you can get this settled out, but you refuse to do so because you guys love to live in this dysfunction, it's leading to bigger things. And now other people are involved with this. And now I got to whoop your ass because you don't know how to talk to my wife, even though she your sister and so on and so forth. Now I got to kill somebody because y'all don't know how to actually talk to each other and communicate. Like all of this is a big domino effect. So I'd say them not being able to have a normal, and maybe that's the whole point. Maybe this is normal. That is normal. We're all fucked up.
Yep.
So, but I think a lot of that has to do with this. So I'm gonna give it to Janice and Tony because it's just ironic how dysfunctional this episode is, but how mad Tony is. Even though he contributes to it, he hates that story got out.
Yeah,
and like I said earlier, this is family. This ain't like two strangers that's just visiting. It ain't like they saying this in front of
it's your wife.
Mercedes. Man, they ain't saying this in front of Mercedes. This your wife with your two grown kids. The fact that Tormella doesn't know that story is insane to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He don't like people remembering certain things about him. Like he likes to create his own narrative. So
speaking of that, that's two episodes away. Remember when?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a devoted Catholic. That's words of Tony. All right, Spike Lee. What's your favorite quote of this episode?
You Sopranos, you always take shit too far.
Yeah, boy.
That's it.
You Sopranos.
You always take it too far, man.
You go too far.
What about you, Rich?
How about that?
Oh,
how about that?
That is so good. I swear that is so good, bro. That is every time it makes me laugh because James Gandolfini, rest in peace, just nailed it. Like
he did.
I almost felt like improv. Like it was so good, it almost felt improvish. But I gotta do this just because it would go without being said. But
I already know what you about to say. Probably don't even hear it.
Yeah, probably don't hear it when it happens. Like because that is the theme for the rest of this season of 6B. Probably don't hear it. Okay, and lastly, your favorite moment of the episode. We probably gotta get into specifics because obviously the whole,
the Monopoly fight.
The fight part of it?
The look that Rich pointed out specifically.
That's my favorite moment.
Yeah, overall, that's the micro vision. From a macro vision, it's the whole fight in itself. But if I had to pick one specific thing, it was the look that Bobby gave.
So like more the build up,
I'm gonna
have
to fuck you up.
Fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to fuck you up, bro. Like the realization that I'm gonna have to fuck the boss of this family up. Crazy what alcohol will do.
Boy. Okay.
Mark me down.
Build up.
Mark me down. Same thing. And specifically that look. I said it. That look, 23 minutes, 47 seconds. Because if depending on your life and how you was raised and the environment that you used to and your people skills and your social awareness, you might not even know that light switch just went off and you in danger.
Yeah.
There's so much that was said with that look and without saying anything at all.
Facts.
That is funny.
And there's just something about being a person that I wasn't even trying to take it there. Like, I'm just making a point because you fuck with me the game and now you being funny. Oh, okay.
Man.
It was at this moment he knew that he fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. It's a lot of little. I'm trying to go elsewhere with it.
Hey, Bobby, where you going, bro?
Yeah, nah,
I need that meme. I need that made to a meme, bro. Like, you know, what?
Yeah. I'm just gonna go all of the water view scenes. I loved it all when Carmela was looking at it. Janice was falling asleep and Carmela was about to take a nap. Tony, when he's sitting on their legs looking at the water, just the water view scenes for me, I really did like. Yeah. So, but that is our episode, man. Almost at 3 hours at this point. But y'all, thank y'all for tuning in again. Y'all want to hit us up, goodearnerpod@gmail.com, or hit us up on Instagram, goodearnerpod_Sopranos. We got a few more of these things, man. So y'all stay tapped in, stay tuned in, and eventually y'all will get the reveal of what will be the next series that the Good Earner crew will tackle. But in the meantime, in between time, thank y'all for tuning in, and remember, don't forget about it.